kind of have some time where they're talking about their area of expertise. And then at the end, we'll have a panel. So if you can stick with us through the full day, all of your questions can be answered from all of the panelists at the very end. So ideally, you can stick around for that section. I'm sure they'll answer questions as they go along as well, but that's your main spot to get questions answered. All right, so why are we talking about video? 96% of consumers watch video several times a week. 96%. That's almost 100%. Who's watched a video this week? Almost all of us, right? So in addition to that, 75% of millennials, which I know us millennials, we get a bad rap, but we're actually the largest chunk of home buyers in the market right now, and we're older, we do age, we're not still 17. So millennials, ages 25 to 36 right now, 75% of them watch at least one video a day. Video is absolutely huge. So if we look at it in terms of hours, 1 billion hours a day watching YouTube videos. That's just on YouTube. That doesn't include the infinite scroll of those Facebook videos. That doesn't include Instagram stories that we're watching all day. 1 billion hours a day on YouTube.
Wow.
And there are an average of 8 billion videos, so 8 billion different videos watched on Facebook every single day. Are these numbers like absolutely mind-blowing? I didn't just make them up, but they're actually sourced. I can give you my sources. 8 billion videos watched on Facebook every single day. Does anybody have kids under the age of 18? How often are they watching videos, right? And it's stuff that you would, like, you have no idea. My little one watches a grown woman from Hasbro play with Barbies. Any of your kids do this?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest things, right? We're taking our kids on a cruise next year. I was trying to show them the deck plans and show them all the photos. They're like, is there a video that we can watch? So I showed them a video of what the cruise was like. So as millennials, all of us get older, and we start buying our second and third and fourth homes, and we're not the majority of first-time home buyers anymore. This new generation coming up, that's going to be the main way they expect to be communicated with, is through video. Another really interesting thing, which I don't think I put up on the slides, Stanford did a study. If you've been in any of my classes, I talk about this a lot because I find it fascinating. University of Stanford did a study, and they wanted to see how the human brain perceives video. So what they did was they showed a bunch of people a video of somebody talking to them. So head, shoulders, having a conversation. Well, obviously not a conversation because it's one way, but explaining something to them or talking to them. And then they surveyed them up to a month later. And what they found was once you reach that 2 months mark after they watched that video, the human brain recalls that as an in-person, face-to-face interaction. Because you think about it, we've heard those things like 85% of communication is body language. Well, when you post a photo or you type text, you lose that body language. You lose 85% of communication. Our brains are wired to interact and acknowledge human faces more than anything else that we see in the world. Human faces are what we gravitate towards. So when you put your face on video and talk to somebody, they're going to remember that better. They're going to remember it for longer. They're going to pay more attention to it. And 2 weeks after watching that, they're going to think that you took the time out of your day to have a face-to-face conversation with them. So most people don't believe me when I say that, but I actually had somebody come up to me afterwards, a few weeks after I gave that stat or gave that story, and she said, I went to my lender. I had a class at her office, and so I went to my lender's office, and when I saw her, I said, what was it? You were telling me something a couple weeks ago about the market and the way that this is going on and how that's impacting interest rates. What was that we were talking about? And her lender looked at her and said, I wasn't talking to you about that. That's a video I sent out. So we've seen evidence now, even from within our social circle, of people recognizing now that, wow, we really do perceive that as an in-person interaction. So the average person, those are huge numbers. I don't know why we lost that screen. Technical support. All right. So if we break that down instead of those huge numbers to just the average person, Johnny's going to be the technical support. I don't know about that.
This is mechanical, not technical.
All right. The average person watches 6 hours and 48 minutes per week of video.
No.
So the average person watches 6 hours and 48 minutes a week on video. So that's almost an hour a day that the average person watches video. This isn't just an age thing. It's not just our kids. It's not just the millennials. 75% of consumers across all age groups watch more video today than they watched a year ago. Yeah, no worries.
Turn it off. That usually helps.
Yes.
Try to reset it.
That's how you fix technology. Turn it off, count to 10, turn it back on. IT people get paid a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, not me.
Not Johnny though. Still flashing? Weird. Alright, well we can just use this screen if that one's not working. We'll figure it out in the break maybe. Alright, so let's look at this as it applies to marketing. We know we watch a lot of video, but are they just all cat videos? The dog playing with the, what are those things called on the back of the door, the little door stopper? You guys have all seen the puppies playing with those, right? It's not all that, it's not all fail videos. 88% of users, consumers, spend more time on a website if it has video on it. Or they spend 88% more time on the website on average if there's a video on it. So when people are engaging with you online, they spend more time paying attention to what you have to say when you use video. How do we get business in this industry? By building trust, right? And how do we build trust but with impressions? How many times we're talking to them and the information that we're giving them. Oh, you need to know.
YouTube a video on how to get this TV to work.
There you go. How-to videos are the #1 search content. Over half of all YouTube users say that the main reason they use it is for how-to videos. So there's a lot of things that you can do in real estate with those how-to videos. We're going to talk later about a bunch of content ideas of what you can do with that. Video marketers, so people who use video to market their products and services, get 66% more qualified leads than people in the same industry who don't use video to market their products and services. Thanks. That's so much easier. All right, so let's just talk about a couple best practices. You've got a lot of great panelists coming up today. These are kind of things just hold true according to the statistics across all types of video. Under 2 minutes. 60% of people are going to stop watching a video once they hit the 2-minute mark. It's not just 30 seconds though. It's kind of the general rule of thumb, and it's different for YouTube, so wait until we get our YouTube guy up here to talk about that. But when users are watching video, they want it to be long enough to thoroughly explain the information that they're looking for, but no fluff. And that's how we all like to learn too, right? We want it direct and to the point. I don't want a whole lot of fluff. I don't want to spend more time than I need to get the information that I'm looking for. So under 2-minute videos, but they don't have to be under 30 seconds. 30 seconds to 2 minutes is a good length. No autoplay. So this doesn't really apply on social media. It's more on your website. If you've ever embedded a video on your website, there's an option to have it just autoplay when the page loads. That actually turns people away from your website when you have it autoplay. So let them click on that play button. If they want to engage with that video, they'll click the play button and engage with it. And then captions. This stat was surprising to me. Is it surprising to you? 85% of Facebook videos are watched without sound. So videos that can either convey the message without having to use voice or sound whatsoever, or if it is voice and you are explaining something to them, make sure you're using those captions. I have no idea why, if I can't take the time to read a blog post, but I'll take the time to read all of the captions on a video telling me the exact same thing. But the stats show that people absolutely do that. I think having that movement keeps us engaged, right? We joke that we all have ADD now because we're so used to having so many screens. Has anybody ever caught themselves or a family member watching TV with their phone or their tablet in their lap? Yep. So we're so addicted to screens and watching movement and all of this stuff that that video and that movement just gets us more engaged, even if we're reading. All right, so one other thing to keep in mind as we're going through all of these different topics on video is that the majority of people are watching video on mobile. The majority of consumers are interacting with the internet on mobile. So this is all internet traffic, 51%, so over half today. Actually, that was back in 2016, so it's even further now. Over half of all traffic is mobile across the board. And then when we look at just media, more media, videos, photos, are viewed on mobile than on desktop by far. So the majority of what they're interacting with is on the phone. And so you need to know, and all of your panelists and all of the speakers will talk about what orientation you have your video on. If you're doing an Instagram story, should it be a vertical video or a horizontal video? For Instagram stories. Vertical, right? Because that's how I'm holding my phone when I'm going through Instagram stories. What about on YouTube? Vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal.
Horizontal, because that's how the mobile platform and the desktop platform are both made, is to display horizontal videos. So knowing where you're posting that video and what orientation even it needs to be in is important. Who's already doing video? Okay, so the rest of you who aren't doing video, this is kind of all new to you. The good news is you missed the phase of high production videos. We had a phase for a while where you needed a green screen and you needed a teleprompter and you needed all this fancy equipment and this pan and zoom and these drone videos. We kind of jumped over that phase of video marketing. So we're kind of in this authentic, because video again makes you feel like you're face to face with that person. So when I'm just holding my phone having a conversation with you like I would if you were right here in front of me, you relate better to me than when I'm all dolled up and I'm in front of a green screen and I've got my suit on and I look super professional and unapproachable. So luckily for the people who haven't started doing video yet, you missed the expensive part of video. Now it's cheap and easy and quick. The other thing that's interesting is we're looking at mobile. This is the percentage of people. It's broken down by age groups. I pulled 18 to 29 just for an example. They're smartphone dependent. What that means is they do not own anything other than a smartphone. They do not have a computer. 22%, 1 in 5 people between the ages of 18 and 29 only use a smartphone and do not own a computer. Mobile is first now. We don't do video hoping they watch it on the desktop and it looks okay on mobile, so you shouldn't be this big in your video this big, right? Assume always that they're going to watch it only on mobile. All right, so why aren't we doing video?
Fear.
Fear. Fear is the number one, right? What are we afraid of?
How we look, how we sound.
So do you guys meet people on a regular basis? Do you go on listing appointments? Do you take showings to buyers? Yeah. Do you wear a paper bag over your head when you do that? No?
Johnny does.
Well, Johnny has to. Johnny has to.
David told me to stop doing that.
So here's the thing with fear. I've got a couple ways that I talk about this. One, we're our own worst critic. A few years ago, I taught a class up in Prescott for the Arizona Association of Realtors on video. And on the way up there, my husband and I were in the car, and I took a selfie of us, like, on the way to the convention, can't wait to see everybody, right? The night before my presentation, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see that photo that I posted, and I turn to my husband, and you're like, you know the first thing I noticed about this photo is? And he goes, what, all the gray in my beard? And I go, no, my crow's feet. We both picked out only the perceived flaws that we saw in ourselves. So all of those things that you see that you don't like and that make you uncomfortable, nobody else sees them. Nobody else sees that. All right, now the tough love.
Craig, that doesn't count for you.
If you're worried about how you look on video, it's the same way you look in real life. So get over it. People already know what you look like. So here's the thing that I would recommend if you've got this fear. I want you to take a video, 2 minutes or less, every single day, one a day, for 14 days straight. And here's how you get over the fear. You're not going to post these videos anywhere. They're just for you. For 2 weeks straight, starting today, I want everybody to hold your phone in front of your face and talk about something for 2 minutes or less, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. You can't just do like 5 seconds. 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I want you to talk into that camera knowing that nobody is ever going to see it but you. And I want you to record it, and then I want you to stop recording, and I want you to never watch it. And in 14 days, you're going to be a lot more comfortable sitting in front of that camera, and you're going to get over your fear. Every client we have that's done this has started using video. I never watch my videos. I recorded my 8-year-old's voice, like on just an audio thing, and I recorded her voice and I played it back for her. That's what I sound like. We hear our voice differently when we talk than when we see it on video, and it's totally off-putting when you hear it for the first time. So just don't listen to it. Because here's the thing, is the people who love you and who work with you know what your voice sounds like and know what your face looks like, and they still work with you. So it doesn't matter what you think, right? All is what matters is what they think. So being in front of the camera is definitely a huge fear for a lot of people. Catherine Anaya is going to come up later today. Obviously a ton of experience doing video, being on TV, and so she's going to give you some tips of how to feel more comfortable in front of the camera. So you're going to get some great tips from her later today on overcoming that fear and ways to feel more confident and polished when you're in front of the camera. We're going to talk about video on social media. So there's lots of places to use video, and the queen of social media, Stephanie Lugo, is going to come up here and talk about how to use video on social. So whether that's posting it on Facebook, posting it on an Instagram story, we're going to talk about all of the different ways that you can use video in that regard. We're going to talk all about YouTube. Not everybody in this room needs to use YouTube to start using video in your business. Your gateway into using video to grow your business could be as simple as, instead of texting someone, thanks so much for meeting with me, I'm looking forward to getting your home sold, you hold it in front of your face and you record a video saying, thank you so much for meeting me, I'm really looking forward to getting your home sold, and you send that instead. So you don't even have to post a video on social media to see growth in your business from using video. So we're going to talk about YouTube and whether or not that's the right option for you, and if it is, how to dominate that. But if not, there's still options for you too. We're going to talk about content. So Liz has 101.
Yeah.
Wow. No excuses not to do video after today, right? 101 content ideas that Liz is going to go over with you of what the heck do I say? Which, by the way, doing that process of 2 weeks, 14 days, recording one video every day, really helps with that content as well. Because video nowadays, it's not having a whole script, it's not taking them from start to finish, it's quick answering questions. And so what you'll find is that sometimes your videos are just your thought process of what's ever on your mind. Has anybody done their CE recently? There's a lot of really interesting things that I didn't realize I had to know. Like in my CE class, I had to know how many pages the CD, the closing disclosure, was. Why do I need to know the exact number of pages? That could have been a video. Anything that keeps you top of mind with people, anything that's going on in your real estate world. I've got friends who post on Facebook the weird stuff, that's not what she says, but the weird stuff that she finds in other people's houses. Anything that you do with video gets engagement and reminds people that you're in real estate. So we're going to talk about lots of content ideas to get you started. Dax, our favorite attorney, is going to come up here and talk about staying compliant, making sure that we're still abiding by our ADRE rules and we're not getting ourselves in trouble when we're marketing ourselves on video. And then we're going to talk about apps and tools. So a lot of times with the cameras you have on your phone, that's good enough to record video for 99.9% of you. So you're probably good just with the camera that already comes on your phone. But if you're trying to take it to the next level, use video in a slightly different way, we're going to have some apps and tools and some hardware. Like, have you guys heard of ring lights? That clip onto your phone and they make you look gorgeous. So that's another way to get over the fears, getting some of these apps and tools. All right, so that's it for me. I'm going to bring up Miss Stephanie to come and talk about video on social media, I believe. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Sorry, I was just about to purchase something from a business on Instagram because I got a video ad for it. Okay, so since I'm at the top of the day, we're going to start small, but let me just get a pulse really quick for the room. Who is consistently doing full production videos once a week, either on YouTube or on Facebook? Okay, good. Who is popping onto quick videos every week? Maybe you're doing Facebook Live, Instagram Live, but you are getting on video every single week. Okay, perfect. The room is great because we're going to start a step before all of that, since we don't seem to have those systems in place just yet. That's okay. We're going to start with Instagram Stories. And Instagram Stories are the easiest way to get started getting comfortable with video. Plus, it's super low production, it's super easy off the fly, and it only lasts for 24 hours on the platform. Okay, so who all is on Instagram? Perfect. Are you guys currently doing Instagram Stories each day? A little bit? Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Instagram Stories, are we all familiar with what that is and where it is on the app?
No.
Okay. So when you go onto Instagram, what do you see? We see like the feed, right? We see the pictures, we see things that people are posting to their accounts. Instagram Stories is like another channel to Instagram, right? And so it's what you see, it transfers over to Facebook, so you can see this as well, but it's those little video clips that scroll at the top of your feed that you can click on one and it just kind of runs through on auto. Are we all familiar with that? Okay, great. They're really fun. They're super exciting, and as of 2018, 2019, they were actually more engaging than posts in the feed, meaning people spent more time looking at Instagram stories than they did on the posts that you're actually putting in your feed, and they were 4 times more engaged with stories in the feed, meaning they're more likely to send you a direct message than to a story than to comment on your post. So who's all kind of annoyed with not getting a lot of likes and comments on a post that you work really hard to get up? That's super annoying, right? Well, Instagram story videos, no? I hate that. Instagram, I have some posts that totally bomb, and I'm not afraid to say it. So Instagram stories actually result, 1 in 4 Instagram stories result in a direct message to your account. That's pretty cool, right? So imagine being able to put up an Instagram story, just a string of very quick, very off-the-cuff videos, and 1 in 4 of them will result in a direct message, and if you're building your audience the right way, that direct message could be from a potential client. Like, that's just numbers at that point, right? That makes sense. Yes? Okay. So I don't have a slideshow because this is really difficult to do with still images, so what I want you to do is everybody pull out your phones, you won't hurt my feelings. I know how it is. We're going to log into Instagram, and we're going to play around with Instagram stories so that you can leave here today knowing exactly how to create some really engaging Instagram stories that actually leads to clients. If you guys haven't met me yet, my name's Stephanie Lugo. I've been with my home group for 5 years now, and we generate over 35% of our business organically without paying with ads on Instagram, directly from the stories and clients, right? Like real clients, real people here locally in the Phoenix area who actually want to buy or sell. And you do this by connecting with your database first, right? So it all starts with a database. We all know your database is your most important asset in your business. But they're all on Instagram, and they're all on Facebook, and they're spending a lot of time on YouTube. So our job is to go where the eyes are. So the first thing that you want to do when you're on Instagram is make sure that you're following your entire database, right? And then make sure they follow you back. That would be ideal. So when you do that, simply just go through. You can either sync your Facebook contacts or sync your contacts with your phone. There's some really simple tutorials to do this on Google, but what you really want to do is just go to your profile where you're seeing your bio, right, and all of your stories. We all know where our bio is, right?
No.
We're going to go to the little hamburger, the 3 lines at the top. You're going to go to settings, and you are going to go to follow and invite friends.
You said hamburger?
Yeah, 3 lines at the top in the corner.
Where's that?
Go to your bio.
Click anybody.
Bottom right.
That's going to open up your stories.
Hamburger, the 3 little lines.
The 3 little lines. Nobody knows the hamburger thing?
It's called a waffle.
The waffle. It's a waffle, but it's $9. Maybe that's 2003 for you guys. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So regardless, if you're not finding it, just for the sake of time, we're gonna go onto YouTube, figure out how to do this, right? But you want to go in, and basically you're going into your settings, and the first option in your settings on your bio is follow and invite friends. And guess what? You can follow your contacts. You can invite people by SMS, by email. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. So spend some time this week. Just make it a goal to make sure that you're already following the people who know you, like you, and trust you. Okay? Because it doesn't make us any good to do video if the people who need to see it are not going to see it. So that's step 1.
Invite friends by SMS? What is that?
Text. SMS is
Oh,
text message.
okay, that is nice.
That's a really good touch point for your database too. Hey, how's it going? Happy to connect. Happy New Year. Hope everything's going well. Hey, by the way, I'm on Instagram, trying it out. Let's connect. They're probably there. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're following your database on Instagram. And then you want to make sure that you're showing up in front of them. Most people, 70% of adults who are on Facebook, which is 1 billion users every month, by the way, are on Instagram multiple times a day, and they're engaging with stories. So we want to be showing up in stories every single day. Now, stories, again, are not part of your regular feed. This is not when you're uploading a photo to your feed and adding a caption. Stories you're going to find when you're in the feed, there's going to be a little camera icon up on the top corner. And if you haven't clicked that yet, you're going to click that, and that's going to open up the platform so that you can start creating your first Instagram story. So how about everybody clicks that camera? Raise your hand when you're there.
Camera right here.
Okay? It's going to do this terrible thing where it's going to flip the camera either looking at the desk or looking at you and giving you a terrible double chin. Okay?
Terrible double chin.
Terrible double chin. Let's get the terrible double chin. Give me a hand up when you've got that. Cool. Okay, everybody, yes? So this is where you're going to start. You're not going to start looking at the desk. You're not going to start looking at a wall, and you're not going to start looking at a listing. Because A, if your database and clients and potential new clients wanted to see listings, they're going to Zillow, they're not going to your Instagram account. Okay? We are going to start with the terrible double chin because this is the power of video, being able to create face-to-face interaction every single day with your database at scale. In a 15-second video, you can touch your entire database who logs into Instagram that day in 15 seconds. That's what we want. So every time when you open it, make sure it's on your face. All right?
Use a filter.
Use a filter, sure. So that's actually a good segue. So at the bottom, you're going to see a big white circle. Okay? And that big white circle is going to be the camera shutter. If you click it once, it takes a picture. So everybody try taking a picture. Take a little selfie. And then give me a hand up when you've done this. Okay? If you hold it down, it's now taking a video. Everybody do this and raise your hand if you know how to do it. Okay? I'm trying to gauge the room because I know everybody is at different levels, so I want to make sure that we're on the same page. We know how to take a picture and take a video now? Awesome.
So,
okay, so how about we take a picture, we take a selfie. Oh no, we realize we're human and imperfect. We need to fix that. Okay, delete the picture by clicking the X at the top corner, the top left corner, and we're gonna go back. Now we're gonna start playing with filters. Okay, so who all is understanding of filters? We know you don't have to use a filter, and I actually find that filters can become very distracting very quickly. But there's nothing wrong with a good Subtle from Instagram filter. Right? Subtle is one of my favorite filters. It looks like this. It's purple, and it has little stars. Where do you scroll? You gotta just keep scrolling if you don't get it. So you're gonna go like that.
Oh, you mean, okay.
Stars or hearts? Scroll across those little circles at the bottom until you find something that you're happy with. So the subtle is this one.
so is this the one where it's saying live, create, normal?
No, so that's going to be the type of thing that's you're too far down. Go up a little bit, and these filters are going to go right across the shutter button, right? So it's right there.
Oh my heavens, I just turned blue.
Oh my heavens, I just turned blue.
Right. Now I'm a rabbit.
Okay, so you can play with all these filters and you can alter the way that you look a little bit, but here's the thing. We're still professionals, we still should be taken seriously, so I'm going to say slide away from anything that's too in your face because it can become distracting, but feel free to play around with these and see if there's one that just makes you feel a little better.
You have to use
Here's one that puts sunglasses on you.
Sorry, what was that in the back?
You would need to pick a filter every time you do a photograph or video?
Yeah, you have to do it every time, and a lot of times, like the apps are smart, so if you use the same filter over and over, it'll start suggesting it, but you do have to make sure it's engaged.
So, are all the filters have stuff on them, like hearts and ears?
Not all of them, but you're just going to have to spend some time and go through and see what feels right to you. Okay? Okay, so everybody pick a filter, and then we're going to take a video. We ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. Okay. I don't see enough hands. Raise your hands if you're ready to take a video. Okay. So when we started down here. We are going to move our hand 2 feet up. Okay? We are not taking videos down here unless you're into that look. I don't think we are. We're going to start up here, 2 feet up, where your eyes and your head and everything is in the image. Okay? And then you're going to do a video. Now when you hold the video, you can do 15-second clips at a time. It's not going to make you stop. It will keep rolling over. But just know that if you want to break it up into pieces, it's going to be 15 seconds. And the more you do this, the more you'll understand why Instagram formats it that way. But if I were to do a video, I might do something like this. hey guys, I'm here at My Home Group Video Day. We're trying to figure out how to do our very first Instagram story videos. Everybody raise your hand if you're excited to do a video today. Woo! Okay.
Get ready to get spammed.
So how did you switch it?
Love it. What do you mean?
Well, you said everybody raised their hands, so you switched it from you down here.
It's on me,
Uh-huh.
and I turned this
Oh, you,
way.
oh, so you
and
have
got
it on.
everything behind me.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I now have a little 15-second video. If I turn the volume on. Everybody raise your hand if you're excited to do a video today. You guys look great. Okay. So now we want to, I'm going to turn the audio off just on my phone so it's not like looping in the background. This is a video that's going to keep looping until you post it, but this is where we're going to edit it. Okay? So when we edit it, there's a couple of things that we can do. First, I want you to swipe this way on top of your video. So if you haven't done this yet, do a quick video clip just so that you can play around with it.
Hi, I'm in a video.
Which way? Sorry.
You're going to swipe that way.
Sitting here in a class with you. So then you get back to your main
More
page.
filters.
There's my video when I was looking at this video. The whole crew behind us.
So if I go over your filter.
Yeah.
Got nothing happening to my
Did you make a video?
No. You might need to update your Instagram. Hold it down again. I do. You need to update your phone.
On a video class today?
Sometimes it does that. If it's not, if something's not working,
Instagram.
yeah.
So is that right?
Okay. So everybody has a little test thing that we can play around with.
So you swipe it, don't you go back to your main page?
No. So everybody has your little test video, right?
So how do you make it stop? How do you make it test?
Can I get attention from the class? Attention from the class? Attention from the class. Okay, I know. We can do this, guys. Pull up your video. We're all there. There's a couple things we want to do to edit it. If you'd like, you can swipe over it, and that's going to give you more filter options. Okay, you can scroll through, and you can go to black and white, you can go to Jakarta, you can go to Melbourne, but play around with that. That's not cool though. Yeah, that's not cool though. What's really cool is being able to add functions that's going to allow people to communicate with you within this video. That's cool, right? So if you're doing a video and you say, hey, what do you think about this new build property? This is a pretty cool house, right? Tell me if you like this kitchen or not. You would love to get a response from somebody directly to a question that you're asking, right? Or hey, who's looking to buy or sell in 2020? You would love to get hand raisers literally from that prompt, right? Okay. So if you look at the top, there's going to be a little square with a little smiley face on it. Do we see that?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to click it, and we're going to be at this screen. Raise your hand when you're at the screen. Great. So you're going to find a couple of different things. Now Instagram unrolls different features to different accounts at different times. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's very unorganized and it's very annoying. But most everybody is going to have some of the same basic functions. The first one is the poll. So raise your hand if you see a poll. Poll. So you're going to click poll, and it's going to pull up and it's going to say ask a question. So for this video, I might do, because I said we're excited to be here at My Home Group Video Day. Excited for videos? Question mark? Yes or no? For all people. So this, you can do literally anything with this. Are you looking to buy in 2020? Yes or no? Right? You can do literally anything with that. You can also change yes or no to different values. So if you click yes, you can change, like, what do you think about this kitchen? Do you like a blue kitchen or a white kitchen? You can do blue on one value and then white on the next. So that's a poll. Yes.
So we click yes or no when we're doing our poll. Like I put, have you done videos before?
Yeah.
And then we click yes,
No.
no.
So if you are happy with it, yes or no, you leave it.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to click out, and you're going to drag the poll to where you want it.
How do you click out?
Click out.
Oh, I see.
Click on the
out,
screen.
and then
Oh, you're already out. And then you're going to drag it.
then
drag it to
drag
where you
like
want it.
below you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it where you want it. So when you post this video in your stories, people are going to have the option to interact with this poll. Okay? Yes, no. So what's really cool here, I'm going to post this to my feed. I'm going to go to this story, and I've just posted this story. And the poll is here. So what if I want to click this and click yes? Once I click yes, as a viewer, I can see the results of the poll. But as a person who's posting the poll, since it's my account, I can now swipe up and see everybody who has clicked on the poll. Do we see that? Once you've posted it, you can see everybody who's clicked on the poll. And then you can respond directly to them with a direct message. Let's talk more about that purchase in 2020, Sharon, right? Like, there's so many different ways that you can create a lot of conversations just by using a poll. But what if you want to get more specific, right? So we're going to go back to the stories.
So there's a lot of Stephanie Lugos.
You're not looking for Stephanie Lugo.
Bryce and Stephanie.
You're looking for Bryce and Stephanie. Do not look for Stephanie Lugo.
I'll just go back to the story.
So we're going to go exactly.
I didn't post it though.
Do you want to post it?
But yeah.
I don't know what I said.
Here, just go like this. Hold that down. Hold down that.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Hold it
Might
down.
as well.
And then you
Dive right in there.
drag it to the
I don't think anyone even does.
Okay, keep that up. So now I'm going to do one more.
True.
And now we're going to do questions. Okay guys, so we're playing with some really cool features on Instagram stories, and I want to show these guys how to do questions. So I'm going to add in a question box. Tell me your favorite color in this question. Give me your favorite color so we can see. Okay, so I'm going to ask my audience to tell us our favorite color, and hopefully they give us some quick things. We're going to add the story. We're going to go back to the top, to the little square with the smiley face, where we found the poll. Who has questions? Raise your hand. Do you see questions there?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. So we're going to click questions. Is anybody stuck? Is anybody resigned to just figuring this out another day? Okay. So click questions, and it's going to give you the option to do a question box. And you can ask the question in the question box. You can change the text here. And right now it says, ask me a question, because that's default. But I'm going to change that to, what's your favorite color? Obviously, this is for the example, but last week I generated 17 leads by saying, what's your email? I'll send you the latest market data. And everybody put in their email address.
Huh.
Can you delete,
Oh,
how do you
wow.
delete something
That was big.
What's that?
How do you delete something?
Hold it down and drag it down to the trash.
Ah.
Yep. So if you want to delete this, if you're like, you know what, I don't care about my audience's favorite colors, they're done. We're going to hold down the little sticker, in this case it's the question, and you're going to drag it down and a little trash can is going to pop up at the bottom. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and click that, post it to my story. I'm now asking my audience what their favorite color is. Maybe I'm asking them, what are you afraid of in buying in 2020? What's your biggest hang up to selling in 2020? Right? I'm going to start conversations by asking really smart questions. That's going to allow me to open a dialogue and generate leads. Does this sound cool?
Yes, it does.
It's cool, right? Do we see how we can actually apply this in the day-to-day? Yeah. So maybe once a day, or once a week, you make the goal to go on and try to start at least 5 conversations just with your audience on the stories using video. Okay? And maybe you use it just to have fun and be a real person and deepen the connection, because the most important part of Instagram stories and Instagram and social media in general is to remember that people are not going on there to be advertised to. People are not going on there looking for information that they can find on Google or Zillow, which they trust more than your Instagram account. Okay? We are going there to provide valuable information designed for our ideal client. And our ideal client are like the people that we want to be working with, right? It's our database, the people we want them to refer us to. So all it takes is a little thought and intention of thinking like, okay, I really need some buyers and sellers. What are my buyers and sellers thinking about right now? What are potential buyers and sellers looking at with the market? And what are the questions that they're asking themselves before they are ready to even begin reaching out to real estate agents? That to me is one of the easiest way to generate leads. Because remember that consumers are, 90% of consumers are starting their home search or their home selling process online before they tell anybody they're even considering a move. 10 to 15% of your database is going to move this year, and they don't even know it yet. Most of them don't even know it yet. And so if you can start opening the dialogue before they ever even think to reach out to another competitor of yours or to inquire on a property on Zillow and have their information sold to all the Zillow real estate agents, you can begin those dialogues right here on the stories with them in a place where they are logging in every single day. And the poll and the questions are my favorite part. So let's see if we got any responses to the questions. I did not yet.
How do you find that?
So I'll answer it myself. Let's see. I'm going to go into my personal account, which I don't use. I only use my business account. I'm going to answer it just from that so that we can have some data. How am I at time? Do I have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite, someone give me a color.
Red.
Blue wins. Okay, so if I'm a consumer and I'm looking at it from this end, so like say I posted this and you go in to see what this looks like, you're going to be prompted to enter in something here. So I'm just going to type in blue and send. That's what your consumers are doing. I'm going to go back to my main account where I posted that from. I'm going to go into my stories, which are always going to be on the feed. Do we know how to get in and see the stories that we posted?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go back to our feed, right where Instagram has, yep, you're right. You're going to scroll at the top and until we see your story. Do we see that?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to click your story, and you're going to go until you see the story that you just posted. So I'm just scrolling through because I post a lot of stories. And once, you guys are giving me answers. So once I get here, I'm just simply going to swipe up, and it's going to give me all the results. So when I say I generated 17 leads last week doing this, I actually generated 40. But of the 40 people who responded with their emails, 17 were responsive enough for me to feel comfortable qualifying them as a lead. That's nuts, right? Like being able to attract leads and get them into your business just from one story. Like I'm never cold calling again. I never did it in the first place.
When you swipe up, is this where you get your results?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't have anything just yet, but show that to me again. So yeah, you're gonna have to just wait till you get some results.
Okay.
It'll show it to you.
Can you, do you have an option to choose the people you want to send the story to?
Exactly, yeah. So you can also send the story to individual people. But when you get responses like this, so say we get some responses to our questions, we're going to find it here. And again, this is all on YouTube, so you can look this all up on YouTube tutorials too, but some people just don't know to do that. Say I want to respond to Craig, who told me red. I'm going to hit reply. You see? And it's going to open up, oh, hey Siri, what's up? It's going to open up the ability for me to either share the response to my entire story or message him directly. So I'm going to message you directly. Wrong answer. And that just sends a direct message to Craig, which is going to be a private, oh you got it, it's going to be a private conversation between us that we can now take a little deeper. So what are some ideas that you guys are having that you could do stories like this in a really easy way that's going to take you like literally 15 seconds? Does anybody have any good ideas on how to do this?
Maybe as you're previewing homes, you find something really cool, you want to just
Yeah.
shoot out a video to everyone.
Totally, and say, hey, is this home up your alley?
Or,
Right,
or even like a cool toilet seat or, whatever,
Yeah.
something.
The wife says that one here.
Made you laugh, right?
Yeah, just like those random things that you see. So what you're doing when you do that is you are giving people a deeper look at what your business actually looks like. Because how many people actually buy and sell homes every day? Like they don't. They do it every 5 to 7 years on average. So the whole concept of being a real estate agent is kind of benign to a lot of people. But if you can show them exactly what your day looks like, what the process for your clients looks like, you're really making them feel a lot more comfortable in reaching out to you and beginning that conversation, even if they've never met you before. So of the people that I generate, we're working with 4 clients right now who are from Instagram. who are buying within the next 60 days, buying and selling. And I have 3 more consultations before the end of the month from Instagram. So these people are coming in. 80% of them I have never met before in my life. On average, about 25% of them are relocating here from different states. So they're finding my Instagram account nationwide. And when I sit with them during a consultation, they tell me that they feel like they're already my friend, they already know everything about me, and they feel like they know me, and it's because every single day I'm doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. And I'm showing up on video and letting them see my face, hear my voice, and see what I do every day. And they feel like they know me after weeks of just watching me. Not watching me, that's a really weird way to say it. Right? But do you see how the power of social media really isn't just like, let's get this listing sold. Let's instead think of how we can build a brand based on value and providing real content, like engaging content to the people who already know, like, and trust us, and new people who stumble upon our account in order to shepherd them down the sales funnel until they're ready to pull the trigger. And by then, it doesn't matter if their aunt sells real estate on the side. It doesn't matter if their husband has a friend from college who's a real estate agent. It doesn't matter because they've already chosen their real estate agent. I had somebody who we helped sell and buy in the fall, and oh my gosh, they're so sweet. It's the cutest family. And she told us at the listing appointment, I always say, like, oh, so you're talking to other real estate agents? Getting a pulse. My husband hates when I do that. I work with my husband, by the way. He hates when I do that because he's like, no, don't tell them because you're going to make them think of talking to other real estate agents. Don't give them the idea, but I do it anyways. And the wife says, oh no, I've been following you on Instagram for 2 years. I told Alan that when we were going to sell our house, we're using the Lugos. We closed the sale before we even got to the table. And it's all from the work that you put in over 15 seconds at a time on video on stories. So this to me is the most effective form of video, not only because you're getting in front of people where they're hanging out every single day, but that took me literally 2 seconds to do that in front of a room full of people using 2 little options. I now have allowed myself to create the opportunity to create dialogue using polls and questions that you can reframe in 1,000 different ways. The content ideas are endless there. Cool?
Very cool.
Okay.
Some question.
Yes.
So first, do you follow them and then you add them? Because you
So-
follow and invite. What's the difference?
So you can invite them if they're not already on Instagram, but most of them are already on Instagram.
Okay,
so there's a couple things that you can do. I would go and just follow your entire database and just like, if there's people who are like top referrers, you need to be searching them on Instagram and go follow them. And usually by you following them, if they already know you and like you, they'll follow you back. It's not like Facebook where you're choosing to be friends and then that relationship is solidified. Instagram, you can follow some people, but they don't have to follow you back. That's why it's really important that you're not being salesy and spammy and sharing content that your audience doesn't care about, because they will just unfollow you. They don't go to Instagram for bad content. There's a lot of good content out there. So you want to make sure that they follow you back. You can always send them a private message and say, hey, happy to connect here on Instagram, give me a follow, and then leave it at that. You're not going to pester them for a week until they follow you. You're going to do one classy invite. You can also post this on your Facebook and just say, hey guys, I'm trying to get onto Instagram, sharing more in stories. This is what you can expect to see from me. Follow me here and put your username so that people follow you. But you do want to start connecting with your database very first, because that's the low-hanging fruit. That's people who you already know, like, and trust, and you wouldn't mind seeing in your feed every day. Is that fair?
But that's only from your phone. How else can you,
Phone.
like from your contacts from your phone?
So contacts from your phone, you can sync. It's just in the settings.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
how do you do it from a CRM?
You don't.
You know?
You don't. Yeah. You don't want to be following a bunch of random leads. If you have a bunch
I'm
of like
talking
random
about
leads
in your,
and stuff,
your past database.
they just
but
don't make it very simple. Yeah, you
They
just,
don't.
yeah,
Okay,
you
we
just have
just
to search them.
gotta. Okay.
Yeah, that's why your contact list is a good place to start. Your phone contact list. In the back of this
If your
first.
story also, you have it set to post through to your Facebook, do the question and comments come
Yeah.
through the same as it,
Yeah, the functionality is a little bit different, but it's still there, and it's just a good place.
and it's gone within 24 hours as well?
Exactly. Yes, yeah. What was that?
So you mentioned you have two accounts, your business and your personal.
I have my business, I don't use my personal at all. I use
So
my
do you
personal.
recommend having a business account? Does it
I recommend
matter?
having a business account because we're professionals. So we need to be advertising ourselves as a business.
So if we have a personal account, open a business?
You can convert it.
Okay.
It's really easy. You just do it in the settings. You can just switch it to a business account, and then you can switch it back if you don't like it. But you should be posting a mix of your personal and business content on your business account anyways. Because remember, the people who follow you, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. The people who follow you, only about 5% might have anything to do with real estate in the next 12 months. So we're not only posting real estate content because you're going to alienate the other 95% of people. That's why we're sharing funny toilet seats. To engage those other people. So you should be sharing your personal stuff, not private, but your personal stuff on your business account. You should give people a reason to connect with you beyond just the transaction. Does that make sense? Okay.
So kind of getting back off what he said. So if I have just a personal page, personal Instagram that already has posts on it from years, and I want to convert it to business, should I just leave all that up?
Yeah, totally.
And then from that forward?
Yeah, and just slowly start talking more about the real estate stuff. Yeah, and then you can always ask what people want to see too. You can do questions. What do you want to see on my Instagram stories? In the back.
And Steph, I'm so sorry,
Sorry.
we are gonna have to make this the last question.
Okay.
We can ask as many as we want.
Yeah,
Don't
sorry.
limit. Yeah.
I
Yes.
just got like a few short ones. So on your account, do you put your name as like whatever realtor, or do you just have it as your regular name?
I just have ours as Bryce and Stephanie because that's how we brand ourselves, but I would have it as first name, last name.
And then do you have it open or private?
Would you hold an open house with no signs?
No. Well, I'm trying to ask you for like, say you ask people as friends. I use Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
And let's say you ask people as friends.
If you
and
want,
they don't add you back, so it doesn't help you because you're following them, but they don't follow you now. And so I'm wondering, do you keep your, so that they kind of have that, hey, I want to
absolutely,
add hers? So no.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
What did
Don't.
he say? I didn't understand what he meant.
You can have your profile private or public.
Oh, okay.
We're businesses, we're public, we want as much exposure as possible. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was super helpful.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're gonna have like 30 minutes for questions at the end. We just have a few people that are ready to go, so we didn't want to go, we're already about 15 minutes over. But next we have Catherine and Aya, which is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna get her set up here really quick.
I'll be fast. I'll get us back on track.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
And you don't have to, you can take as long as you need.
Okay, I'm doing that. I just. Hi, everyone. Ooh, I love your color. Thank you. I love your shoes. Thank you. Thank you. Are they comfortable? Probably not. No. As long as it's within 4 hours, really. Then afterward, no. But they look good, and that's all that matters, right? How are you all doing? Good. Are you learning a lot?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Ryan and I do here in My Home Group. We do My Home Group TV. I am the host and content creator. I just came up with that. And Ryan is the production director. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing here at My Home Group, but I wanted to introduce myself to those of you who don't know who I am. Maybe you recognize me from TV because I started doing it when I was in the womb in 1990. Yes, 1990. I used to work at Channel 12 back in the 90s, and I worked at Channel 5 for a really, really long time up until 2015 when I retired to focus on my family and work part-time. So that's kind of how I ended up here recently. That was what, almost a year ago. So I know a little bit about TV. What I'm going to talk about specifically though is the kinds of things that you've been learning is not really what I do. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about better presenting yourself in front of a camera. Specifically, if let's say we interview you,
or maybe a news station interviews you, or maybe you do a video where you're interviewing somebody or somebody's interviewing you. It's just a little more tips and tricks to better present yourself, because as you all know, first impressions are a lasting impression. So real quickly, while I get started, this is where you can find me on social media. All of the icons above, so it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. You can find me at Catherine Anaya. Facebook is Catherine Anaya TV. That is my email address and my website address. So if you have any follow-up questions or you just want to follow me, that's where you can find me. Okay, so do's and don'ts of being in front of a camera, live or otherwise. Number one.
Do we get some sort of screen presentation, or should we be taking a picture of this?
You can take a picture of it, yeah. Wear a bold colored tie if you are a man. Dress or separates that aren't too busy, so solid jewel tones are best, such as this. Why is that? Well, number one, it gives you that feeling of authority, it projects authority, and whenever you are watching the TV, your eye automatically goes to the best color, right? The most vibrant color. So it really accentuates all the positives that are going on with you. So you really want to stick with bold TV colors is what we call them. If you're wearing a skirt, please don't make it too short, because let's say you are being interviewed with us upstairs, or maybe in a situation where you're at Channel 3, for example, on their morning show, you cannot always assume that it's going to be a low chair. You could be sitting in a high top chair. Try sitting in a short skirt, and that's not going to look very good, especially if the camera is showing you full length. So be very mindful of things that at least go right above the knee or even past it. Sit straight and confident. You would be amazed at how many people sit and start slouching because they think that they're just really comfortable and that's the best way to present themselves. Well, it's not. You need to project confidence, sit up straight, have great posture. You can use your hands, like I tend to use my hands a lot, but you don't want them to be a distraction. So for example, when I was anchoring news, I used my hands a lot because it helped me accentuate certain words or phrases, but I always carried my hands down here so you couldn't see them where the camera was shooting me. So it's perfectly fine to use your hands, just don't make it so much so that it becomes a distraction. Stay on topic. If you are, for example, doing a morning show, you probably only have 3 minutes, so you really want to make the most of those 3 minutes. So maximize your time by being engaging, an authority on what you're talking about, so people will believe you and trust you. But don't go off on tangents. Just really stick to whatever it is you're supposed to be sticking to, and maximize those 3 to 5 minutes, whatever it is that you have. Do wear powder, and this goes for you men as well. If you are going to be in front of a camera, you need to put some powder on.
Come on.
Yes, you do, right? Especially if that camera is HD, it is not forgiving. It will show every blemish that you ever thought you didn't have, okay? Be concise in your answers. Again, don't go off on tangents. Don't start talking about a different topic. I tend to do that a lot, but just really stay on topic and be concise in your answers. You want to deliver as much content as possible, clearly and to the point. That may even require that you practice in advance and anticipate maybe what some of the questions are that people are going to ask you. If it's a news organization, chances are you are not going to get those questions in advance. It's just not how journalists practice. So be prepared for what those questions might entail. Remember, you are the expert. So whatever you're being asked to talk about, you're the expert. That's why you've been invited to speak. We are prompting you with questions, but you know more than we do as the interviewer. So remember that and make sure that you are comfortable and confident in what you're there to deliver. Be ready to promote yourself via Twitter or Instagram or your website address. You know, you want to be able to, if somebody's not going to put it on the screen for you, you want to be able to say, and by the way, you can reach me at da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? That way people will follow you and engage with you. Be prepared with examples of what you're talking about in case there are follow-up questions. Again, that just goes back to really practicing what it is, what your message is that you want to get across, so that you can maximize that time that you're with the person. And this also goes for the videos that you've been learning about. You don't want to be rambling on, let's say, Instagram. You want to be very straight and to the point. Steve is excellent at that, so he's going to teach you how to do that a little later on. Talk in simple terms as if you're talking to a school grade child. I know that sounds so simplistic, but you would be amazed at how many people think that they, once they get in front of the camera, that they all of a sudden need to start talking technical because that makes them more of an authority. It does not. You want to be conversational. One of the first things that we tell people when we're going to interview them is, because they get nervous and they see the camera and they think that they have to be something they're not. We just want you to have a conversation. So at all times, just think, I'm having a conversation. Even if you are doing your own, say, Instagram video, remember the phone camera is your friend and you're just talking to your best friend. And make eye contact. So if you're doing an interview with me, I want you looking at me, not looking at the camera. Remember, the camera will find you. You have to be engaging in a conversation. That means you have to talk to the person that is sitting next to you. This one up here, Liz?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just the right arrow.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. The don'ts. Don't worry about looking at the camera. Again, the camera will find you. Unless somebody tells you otherwise, talk to the person that you are sitting next to. Don't try to be funny. Just be yourself. And if you are naturally funny, that's okay. But just be yourself without being too serious. It's kind of that happy medium. And again, that takes practice. You might want to practice in front of a mirror, or maybe you just want to record yourself many times and look back and be critical of yourself, because the more you are, the better you're going to be at presenting yourself, the better you will be when it counts. You can take it. Don't go off topic, as I've mentioned. Have an idea going into the interview about what topics you want to hit. So please, please don't stray from the topic unless somebody tells you, hey, I'd like you to hit a number of different things. Don't wear those light-colored suits, men, because you can come off as less authoritative. And ladies, don't wear white because it makes the camera just go in funky directions and it's just not good, and it doesn't look good on the majority of the complexion. So we are always told to stay away from white. Do not squirm or move around because, again, posture is important. So we've had to actually stop interviews because people are rocking and they don't even realize they're rocking when they're talking. Or if there's a table, they start doing this. Don't even realize it. So again, you might want to tape yourself, record yourself, just to see if you have some of those nuances that you didn't even realize you had. They become distractions if they take away from the message. Don't ignore a question. So even if you don't know the answer to the question, be honest and just say, sorry, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll get back to you. Or, you know what, let me research that a little bit. I'll let you know later on. It's okay to not know everything, and it's okay to be honest. So that brings me to what we do now, which is My Home Group TV. We are home, lifestyle, and so much more. We're a digital TV network. You can watch all of our episodes on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I post everything on my channels, Catherine and Aya, but you can also find it on the My Home Group social media accounts. Please follow us and please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do really, really great work. We did a profile on Steve Panate, which is one of our favorites, and we put a lot of energy and time into creating the best possible stories. Ryan, as I mentioned, is our production director, and she really makes those videos come to life. So we really want to get your feedback and just have you share them. That would be awesome. So before I turn it over to Ryan, I want to just talk about pitching stories, because if you all are good at what you do and you know you're good at what you do, you probably have a zillion different story ideas that might get you on either My Home Group TV or maybe a news station. Morning news is notorious for trying to fill a lot of time. So let's say, for example, you have a story idea. Don't be afraid to go out and cultivate relationships and pitch those stories to the various outlets, because what happens is if you come on and you're really good at what you do when you're on camera, they're going to keep calling you back because, just to give you an idea of what a day looks like for a reporter, let's say it's a nightside reporter. They go in at 2 o'clock, they have an editorial meeting, they get their directives of what kind of is the big news of the day, and if they have to go on for a live shot at 5 o'clock, they have 3 hours to put a story together. So they're going to call the person that they know is most likely to make themselves available. If let's say it's a real estate story, if you've already cultivated that relationship and you are available, you make yourself available all the time, they're going to call you and they're going to use you more often than not, and then all of a sudden you become that go-to person that everybody wants to use. So when you're pitching stories, think to yourself, how timely or relevant are these stories? Think about what the news is of the day and how you can tap into that somehow. Make it a local story if it's a national story. How can I inject myself into whatever's happening? And if it's not happening that particular day, maybe it's what we call an evergreen story. So maybe it's, let's say you're an agent in Peoria and you're noticing a trend in real estate in Peoria. Go ahead and pitch that story. There may be a slow news day where somebody just, wants to fill some time, and that may be the particular day that they're thinking, that would be a good story. Is there a story behind your story? So let's say you're promoting yourself, okay? Maybe you left corporate America, you decided to create your own real estate business, and in 1 year, you're the top producer in Arizona. That's a really great story because you've gone from 0 to 100 in a matter of a year. Don't be afraid to toot your own horn because unless you have a PR company behind you, there's nobody else who's going to toot it for you. Know the audience that you're pitching to. So if you're going to pitch to Channel 15, understand that Channel 15 does not have the same amount of time to fill in the morning as Channel 3. Understand the differences between the news stations. Understand what we do. You would not believe how many news stories I get pitched still, and I'm not doing news. So when you pitch somebody something that you haven't actually researched and you don't realize that it doesn't belong to them, chances are your credibility is going to go take a little bit of a dive. So really do your research. It doesn't take that long to Google somebody, Google what they're doing now. I left news 5 years ago. There's absolutely no reason why I should still be getting news pitches, but I do. Choose the appropriate outlet. Again, research, who is doing what. So if it's real estate, research publications that you could maybe, pitch your stories to. Research podcasts. Maybe there's podcasts that are specifically for real estate that you could pitch yourself to. Don't be afraid to think outside the box because the worst somebody can tell you is no, and you haven't lost anything. You're right back where you started. Do your research, don't blanket pitch. So you would not believe how many pitches I still get that are addressed to me as a Channel 5 news anchor. Again, know who you're pitching to, know what they do specifically at where you're pitching to. So for example, if you are pitching a 3-minute segment on real estate trends in Arizona to Channel 3, you're not going to pitch it to Heather Moore because Heather Moore anchors at night. You're going to pitch it to Olivia Fierro, who anchors in the morning. So know who is placed where. Now, let's say you have a personal relationship with Heather. Well, then it's okay to message Heather and say, hey, I have this story idea. Can you connect me to Olivia? So really just think about different ways of getting yourself in front of the right people. And that's it. So I'm going to turn it over to Ryan just to talk a little bit about her perspective of what you do, because now I've talked about in front of the camera. She's going to talk about behind the camera, and then we're just going to give you a little snippet of one of our episodes. Thank you. Yes, this is Ryan Rose.
Hi, everybody. I'm the production director for MHGTV, and so I just want to piggyback off of some of the things that Catherine had to say about presenting yourself in front of the camera, when you need to decide also whether it is time for you to make that jump from
doing all of the video production yourself to hiring someone to kind of help you move along that route, kind of going more towards something that Catherine and I do. So first off and foremost, if you are being interviewed by somebody, say Catherine and myself, something that we come across quite frequently is how uncomfortable people feel in front of the camera, which is totally normal. It's okay to not feel comfortable with yourself in front of the camera, even though you are an expert. And we love to remind people, like, we don't know anything about what you're talking about, so if you're nervous telling us, don't be nervous telling us, because we're, like, you know, totally clueless. We want to know everything that you have to say. It's interesting to us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be wanting to do an interview with you, right? So kind of reassure yourself that, hey, you know, I'm the expert here. Secondly, when you are saying something, if you have a thought, you're making a statement, and you kind of feel like it's going south, hold on to it. Finish what you're saying, because I can't tell you how many times somebody will, and I can see it like in their face, they're like, oh crap, I've lost my train of thought, I'm starting to like ramble off, you know, and as soon as they finish what they're saying, they make a face like, oh man, you know, because they're just like, oh, I really could have had that. But they don't realize if you just end what you're saying, probably like 80% of the time it's salvageable. Like nobody on the other end can realize that, man, they messed up. You know, it's just when you give those instances of doubt to yourself, like, oh, I should have said it. Obviously, we have the ability to start over. It's okay. We don't have to, it's not live. We can do that clip again, right? But if you have to do a clip again, for the person speaking, it kind of like diminishes their, you know, self-esteem a little bit, because, oh man, you're doing it again. But if you can just hold on to it, and if it's terrible, then we do it again, no big deal. But just hold on to that last statement that you're saying, because I'm telling you, most of the time nobody else is going to notice that you've messed up, right? Now, fidgeting, Catherine, you know, we talked about speaking with your hands. I talk with my hands. A lot of people that present themselves to an audience, I feel, have a tendency to talk with their hands. It makes you more personable. You're able to connect with individuals, right? You're making contact with them. But when you're in camera, and me, I've set up a couple of cameras on you. We have one covering everybody. I have one specifically on you, and you have a tendency to do something like this, you know? My focal depth is right where you guys are, so you could end up being in and out of focus just by like moving front and back, side to side. So it's okay to fidget, but you know, try not to get too far from where you are. Something to look out for sure. Ands, likes, everybody does it to kind of give themselves a little bit of space between what they're saying and what they're going to say. But if you can rein that in, it makes it a lot better. Editing wise, right? We don't have so much lag in between statements. That's kind of it when it comes from you guys presenting yourselves in front of the camera. Now, when is it a good time to take the step from doing your own video production, right? Stephanie, I don't think she's in here anymore. Steve, they're all really fantastic when it comes to utilizing social media and video production from what you have available to you. I know Steve knows tons of apps that you can use on your phone for photos, for editing, for music. All kinds of things that you have available to you really are right there. Might be a couple of bucks to use or to purchase. They know everything. I have no idea when it comes to editing on phones and stuff. It's just not my wheelhouse. So when is it a good time to find somebody to do video production for you? One, what are the types of things that you're trying to produce? How are you presenting yourself to your audience? I'm sure Stephanie possibly talked about this earlier, the way you present yourself to your audience. Some people like to engage with their audience more of like a video blog style. Hey, I'm here, how's everybody doing? This is what's going on, check this out. They'll show you around. Steve does both, and and I'm sure Stephanie probably does both too, but you have to decide, who is your audience? Are these people really going to come here for information, or are they just kind of like checking in just to kind of see what you're doing, right? Also, how much time are you putting into video production? Is it eating up hours upon hours of your time when you could be building relationships with your clients, getting back to people, showing homes? It's hours and hours of time editing, right? Unless you're doing it from your phone and you can do it quickly and you kind of learn how. If you start doing production where you have cameras and you have lights and, you know, how much time are you going to invest? How much money are you going to invest in it? It's a lot of work. It's a completely an additional job, right, to what you're already doing. So when you get to a point to where you feel like, oh, I really don't have the time to invest in this, but hey, my followers are like really growing and, you know, I'm starting to get more traction on my YouTube channel. Maybe now it's time to find somebody who can help me upgrade my video production. That's the perfect time to find someone. And then interviewing people. Make sure you shop around. Don't just go for whoever. Make sure the person that you're going to be working with has a good grasp on the type of videos that you want to produce. Have an idea of the type of videos you want to produce. Go and find other agents that are producing things that interest you, that you feel that they're doing a good job, and follow them, mimic them, do things along the lines that they're doing. Of course, put your own flair to it. Everybody wants to see personality, right? But don't steer away from doing what other people are doing, because that's only going to help you get to their level, and then once you feel really comfortable, you can, you know, supersede them or go down your own little niche market. And so make sure you're shopping around, interview the people, look at their past work, listen to, see if maybe there's referrals from other people saying, hey, you know, this person did a great job. You want to ask about turnaround time. How many hours are they going to be putting into producing the video? Because all of that matters. Do they need a motion graphics person to do lower thirds? Do you need to have an intro? Do you want an intro to every video that you do that's consistent? These are all things that you need to think about, because they're going to be, a lot of them are going to be upfront. Lower thirds, introduction, outro, music, things that you want to have consistent. Those are going to be your upfront costs on top of producing whatever that video is. So just make sure that you're shopping around, you have a clear view of how you want to present yourself, what your niche market is, and where you want to go. And don't feel pigeonholed to working with one individual. If you do a video and you really don't like the way it turns out, don't feel bad about going and find somebody else, you know? And ask around. There's tons of people here, especially at my home group, me, myself included, Catherine, that would be more than happy to kind of guide you in a good direction to go on who to talk to and different avenues to kind of pursue. So, yeah, that's it.
So are there any questions that you have for us? Yeah.
Do you do video introductions and walkthroughs of homes, for example, for listings?
Personally, myself, no, I do not do those, but I believe Kelly has just started conversations with somebody who does do home videos where they're doing, you know, like 360 tours of the houses. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking like video with somebody like yourself and, you know, and introducing the home, anything like that?
Mm-hmm. As for My Home Group TV,
yes.
No, that's not something that we do. When it comes to real estate, if we're doing any type of stories that are real estate related, it's typically talking about the agent or some top tips that you need to know, but not necessarily anything having to do with homes and agents' homes and stuff like that.
So you'll find some profiles that we've done on real estate agents. They're usually some of the top producers in the state. Basically, the stories are about the secrets to their success, so how they achieved what they achieved. Mm-hmm. We go in depth into their story and their background. Yes.
As far as reaching out to the people that you know on television, say previously yourself or whatever, like I'm in a support group with say Andrea Robinson, which I am, but I'm not gonna, I don't feel like it would be, I should ask her, hey, do you know someone? Or like, with everybody is on social media. So I'll ask Jamie Serrano, where'd you get your eyeliner?
Right.
You know, things like that. Do we use those types? Like, go straight to Jamie and say,
Yes.
hey, I know you're doing your local love segment. Would you like to come over here?
Yep, that's exactly what you would do. And if you don't have the time to Google somebody's email address, use social media.
Yeah.
We all answer our own social media unless, you know, we're some famous pop star and we have somebody else doing that, but that's not anybody I know. So yes, absolutely take advantage of it. Keeping in mind that somebody probably won't get back to you right away, but we're all conditioned to responding because that's the business we're in. We're in the business of storytelling. So
I didn't know you guys still had to get your own stories. I thought now, I know it used to be like back in the 70s and 80s and all of that, but I didn't know anymore.
yeah, because with social media, the competition is so strong, it really comes down to relationships and cultivating those relationships. So you may poke somebody on Instagram and you create a dialogue, and next thing you know, you've established a relationship, and then you can start expanding on that. Well, oh, by the way, I do real estate. Do you need a real estate expert to come in on one of your shows?
Okay.
Yeah, just don't be afraid to plant as many seeds as possible, because you never know where that's going to lead you. It may not result in something immediately, but it might a month down the line or so when that person remembers, oh, there was that person that contacted me in Instagram. Let me go back and find out who that was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a picture of like me with like Kimmy, I don't know her last name.
Quintero?
Yes, and that could be like an icebreaker.
Sure.
Remember we met last year
Yes.
here.
I'm
you
not a
called on the
psycho.
phone. I'm not
We
trying to
met.
stalk you, but okay. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, good. Anything else? Okay, we're not going to play the whole thing because our videos tend to be 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll just play a little clip just so you have an idea of what we do. And please go follow us and subscribe and like and comment on YouTube. Thank you very much for your time.
HGTV. In this My Lifestyle episode, we know life can be stressful and spas can be expensive, so why not do it yourself at home? Meet the mother-daughter team behind Simple J Spa Products. It's a line that uses CBD oil for you to use at home to create your own relaxing spa.
People are looking for these natural solutions to things where they don't want to take pain medication or something just isn't working and they need to fix it and they want to do it in a natural way.
Chelsea Hamilton is talking about the Simple Jane line of spa products. She and her mom Angela developed the line 4 years ago. It has since evolved into a CBD wellness company specializing in topical and CBD products.
There's a lot of misconceptions about CBD right now, and CBD, just so we know, the full term of it is cannabidiol. And so that's the longer term of it. We know it is CBD, but there's also CBDA and all of these different components of the hemp plant. And so in this case, we're referring to the hemp or the cannabis plant, which is, again, has zero THC piece of it and all of the healthy, and then is the high piece of it, is how we like to describe that.
CBD is wildly popular right now because of what proponents tout as its many healing benefits.
But for topical reasons, if people take it internally for different reasons, for sleep and for inflammation and for arthritis and for relief, general relaxation basically. But we found that topically, people can use it just as well too. So you don't have to always be taking a tincture or a capsule or something like that, that using these products topically can help you relax into a state where maybe you had trouble before.
Angela has been in the wellness industry more than a dozen years, but once she learned about the health benefits of CBD, she set out to create her own recipes and develop her own product line. Now,
CBD good stuff. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Right. Next is Dax Watson. Yes, Dax is in-house counsel for my home group, if you're not familiar. He is a phenomenal real estate attorney, and we are lucky to have him.
Don't tell anybody. They only gave me, I was looking at the agenda and I got like 5 minutes to talk, which I figured that's about all anybody would want to listen to a lawyer for anyways, right?
It's that little disclaimer at the end.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes. But yeah, I can be real brief. So why I wanted to share, why I wanted to talk is when we are doing social media and we are doing videos and we're doing Facebook and we're doing Instagram is we have to remember what? What do we have to remember about it?
Compliance.
Legal compliance.
Right, because they're advertising. Even when we're doing the videos, we're advertising. So we have to make sure what kind of things do we have to have on our advertisements? Prominent. That's the $1 million word. You have to have your brokerage's name prominent on all your advertising. I cannot tell you, and I know this is more focused on video than Facebook. I cannot tell you how many Facebook violations I see every day. So folks that are actually on Facebook and they're using that as a means of getting their name out there. Do you need to have all your information on there? Say yes.
Well,
Say yes.
it's on our little profile anyway, isn't it? Or do we have?
Some people don't. You'd be shocked. I can't tell you how many times I'll pull up and someone will have a team and it'll just say the John Smith team, and that's all they have on their Facebook. They don't have my home group or whatever brokerages they're with, and that's a violation. And I've actually had to sit down in Judy Lowe's office many times defending real estate agents with those violations. And it's the same thing if you are going to do these videos and you are going to get online and you're going to do all that stuff. You have to put your brokerage's name on there, and it has to be prominent. Now, what was interesting is one of the things I heard Ryan say, and my ears perked up as an attorney. She said, "Well, when you go do these videos, you want to show that you're the expert, right?" Well, that's true, but these videos are going to live forever. Right? And I can't, I remember I did a trial one time, and one of the flyers that this real estate agent used, he held himself out as the specialist in a particular subdivision. Now, are you allowed to call yourself a specialist or an expert?
You can't. You shouldn't.
I mean, you can, right? I mean, there's nothing that stops you from calling yourself the specialist, the expert, but he held himself out as the expert in this one particular subdivision. And they ended up selling these lots in this subdivision. And right outside of the fence line, the town of Cave Creek actually acquired some land and built just about the worst thing possible you could build behind somebody's house. Anybody want to go?
Waste management.
What's that?
Waste management.
Well, you know that story, don't you?
I live in Cave Creek.
Yeah, they built a water treatment facility right behind this $2 million house. Right? And the problem, though, is this guy's holding himself out as a specialist in his advertising. Guess what he didn't know? He didn't know it was coming. Right? So then for 5 days I'm in the trial and I have to look at this board that they blew up of this flyer calling himself the specialist. And they set it right behind plaintiff's counsel that whole time. So the point I'm getting at is just be very mindful when you're doing your social media, when you're doing your videos, when you're getting on tape, that this is going to live forever. So you got to be careful in what you put out there. You can't exaggerate. You don't want to overstate things. You want to be very mindful of all of that, right? So has anybody got any questions for me? Because I only got 5 minutes. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I am not a realtor or an agent. I'm an executive assistant, and there are times I have to go into homes and open them up for realtors to tour with their clients.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to say, oh, we're. I'm not licensed.
You're an unlicensed assistant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and.
That is absolutely correct. You're not supposed to say a word that would be inducing someone to buy or any price negotiations or anything of that nature.
What about as.
You can open the door and let them in.
Far as, do you know if this the light where the water feature is?
No.
You know, that switch?
No.
Nothing, okay.
No, you were strictly.
I was even, this morning I opened a home for a realtor and I told her, I said, I can't answer any questions. So, and then she immediately went into questions. And she's like, oh, I know that so well. And then immediately went into questions and I'm like.
Well, you did the right thing.
Well, I answered, but I didn't.
Oh, well, then you did the wrong thing.
So.
I didn't hear.
I
didn't hear.
Okay, so just nothing at all, just open and leave me
There's a substantive, there's a substantive policy. If you go on the ADRE's webpage, there's a substantive policy that says exactly what you can do.
Okay.
So if you just type in substantive policy and it says unlicensed assistant, you can pull it up. It'll give you a list of what you can and can't do.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, I've been doing videos, I've been not doing videos for a while, but I've done in the past, and I've been real good on the videos that I semi-produce, and I like Ryan to overlay my home group and my phone number and stuff. But these stories, Instagram stories, so are I mean, you're doing, 18 snippets a day of something in your life, and one of them's a house. Is it okay if you just have on your page that you're a realtor with my home group and your phone number? Because, those are like, I'm doing this and it's shot in 8 seconds. I'm not overlaying.
I would be, and I don't have a 100% answer on that, but I would be shocked if the ADRE would come down on you for that. If your Instagram page is set up.
So on YouTube videos and my Facebook videos, which are...
But those all disappear almost immediately, right? How many hours are they? 24 hours?
24 hours.
Right.
Stories 24 hours, yeah.
Right.
They can go.
Right. Well, look, if it's going to be a permanent video that's going to be on your Facebook page forever, then I think you want to make sure you have an overlay on it.
Is it in the intro, or does it overlay the whole video?
Well, also depends on what you're doing. Like, so I was watching Catherine's, right? Catherine's story had nothing to do with real estate. Right. Even though she did have the My Home Group logo up there, right? So we do that anyways. But if you're actually talking about real estate,
I'm talking about new having home or something.
I would have it right at the beginning, right when your first name comes up and everything.
But, so I've been doing it overlaying the whole way. Is that
that's even better.
That's better.
That's even better.
Maybe not necessary.
I mean, again, what the department wants is they want to make sure that the public knows who they're dealing with, right? That's all they care about. And how do they know if it's displayed prominently? Bless you. So yeah, if you have it up front, obviously if it's overlaid the whole time, that's even better. But at least at the beginning, if you have it prominent, it's displayed, and then the public knows who your brokerage, then you're golden. I get a question over there and a question there. So I'll go in the back first.
Since we were just talking about Instagram, let's say you go preview a home for some clients, and they want you to video it for them just so they can kind of see. But it's not your listing, which you're walking through, kind of filming it for them to see. And do you need to make sure you put that realtor's like, hey, he's this brokerage, this, like if it's on your stories or something on Facebook like that?
So you're actually previewing it, it's not your listing?
Mm-hmm. You need to put all their information so that...
No, because again, what the department cares about is if whoever you're dealing with knows what brokerage you're with. And if you're doing it just as a private video for them, right, you're not advertising it. Am I understanding you correctly?
Well, what if they did want you to like tag it, and you put it on your stories, that disappears in 24 hours like that, and they just said, hey, can you just tag me in that so I know what's going on?
Listen, you can say that.
Yeah, so my understanding is anytime you market anyone else's listing, you don't have to list the agent name, but you do have to list their brokerage. So in that case, you'd say listing courtesy of HomeSmart or whatever it is. If it's a My Home Group listing, you don't have to do so, from my understanding, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's a different brokerage.
Even in your stories.
Yes.
Yes, again, just to be safe. Let's go there and then I'll go there.
Okay, so Twitter, my understanding is because you're limited to 144 characters, and I thought Instagram was like that because it disappears.
Well, Instagram, just your stories disappear. You
Yes,
can have
that
a post.
part.
Right.
So as long as it says, like in my case it'd be smart, but as long as it says that that's who we're representing.
If you're using your Instagram as a marketing, like
business page.
Right, if you have a business page, then
Right.
you need to identify who your brokerage is.
Right,
If it's just
it
your
is on
personal
there.
page, who cares?
Yeah, it's on there.
But
What
if it's a
if
personal
on,
page, you can post real estate stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it depends on, like, if you keep them separate, like,
Right,
you
I
know,
keep them separate.
If you keep them separate, then that's fine.
So
But you need to
the
identify.
little video snippet things, like you were talking about,
I'm not too concerned about
labeling
if you're
it
doing
or
your
something.
stories because
Can you just
reality
take a picture of your card or some such nonsense at the end of each video?
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic, there we go.
Yes.
What if you just say who you're with?
That's fine, but I think it's
At the
better.
beginning, hi, I'm Adriana,
Yeah, I'm with
my home
my home group.
You can
We
also
don't have a
type it
sign.
though. There's a little type
And
feature.
and
Right.
then also, second question, if you don't ask permission and you videotape somebody's house that they have, is that okay?
So if you go into somebody's house.
Yeah, and I'm
you
videotaping,
it,
hi, I'm at this great property, I'm previewing it. I mean, I just always like have a little bit of an issue with that. Is that okay?
Video
Oh.
somebody's
I don't know.
business on the market without.
I think it'd be against our list rules if you don't.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
good.
I think it would be against our list rules as well.
Yeah,
That's a
even
good
if
question.
it's vacant,
I'm gonna go back there and then I'll
So
come
you
back.
get the permission of the listing agent, not the owner.
they have to get a.
Well, the listing agent would have to go to the owner.
You can't just videotape somebody's house.
Right. So somebody was in the back, had a question?
That was kind of my question, is a lot of these platforms have limited space for content. So if you're branding yourself, you're saying do it on the main page, not necessarily in each individual post.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have to.
Some of these platforms where there's barely enough room to put.
You know, look, I haven't heard of Commissioner Lowe coming down on a Twitter account.
Right.
Because it would make no sense, right? I mean, because
Right,
how
we
do you
only
do
got
that?
144 characters.
Exactly. But I do know she comes down on Facebook pages and Instagram pages because
So
I've
if you
had
use
set in
the
front of her.
majority of the area where you can type in your name or whatnot, if you just displayed a My Home Group photo, say in the bottom of your profile picture
Right.
or something like that, that way you're not using
Right.
content.
Exactly. You had a question?
I do, and you kind of explained it. I'm just starting up being a realtor, gonna have to be off for a couple years because I moved. And I started a home decor page on Instagram.
Okay.
And I do like design tutorials, but I want to start blending in my real estate. And
Okay.
as long as I put My Home Group at the top, every time I say show like a model home, if I decide to do a post, do I have to put that in the video? Because a lot of that's like super edited. Could I just put it in the
Depends on what you're
comments
doing.
or
If
in
you're
my
doing your
caption?
home decor business, you don't. But if you're trying to actually generate marketing for your real estate company or your real estate agent license, then yeah, you would have to.
In each video. It wouldn't
I
be enough
would.
to caption it and put it in the description?
Well, so let me understand. You have like a web page? Is that what you're saying?
No, my Instagram.
Oh, on your Instagram? No.
Oh, and I do have a website also.
I mean, I think on your as long as your Instagram page has proper markings on it, then I'm not too concerned about your little video snippets that you do. Yes, sir.
The new rule, coming soon.
Coming soon.
So right, so we can't, as soon as you take the listing, you have to put it on the MLS within 24 hours.
Right.
So that means you can't advertise on any social media or anything like that. What is the department saying about that?
You know, I haven't talked to the department about that yet, but that is going to be a big deal. Yeah, March 1st.
I thought it was already in effect January.
No, NAR approved it, but each MLS has until March to adopt it, and Arizona hasn't adopted it yet, Armless hasn't adopted it.
So we can still.
Well, for another 6 weeks.
Okay, that's plenty of time.
Did you have a question, sir? I thought I saw your hand go.
I did. With regard to YouTube videos and posting, let's say the drone video on the MLS.
Okay, everybody.
So I'm uploading it through YouTube on my channel, and I'm posting it on the MLS.
Okay.
I receive a fine for posting it because it was somehow connected to my name, which actually connects it to my.
You got a fine from Armless?
Right.
Okay.
Well, they're going to decide about it today because I went in front of them and said, "Come on, guys."
It's very challenging to comply with an anonymous video in Armless. You can't use a YouTube video because they can track back to you. It has to not be tracked to you, the video you post in Armless. That's what you're talking about.
Right. How do you do it?
I gave up, frankly. I had a photographer that had a link that it only linked to him, and I posted that one, but.
And you got fined with that? Probably.
No, I didn't.
No. Okay.
You had a question, sir?
Yeah. So I've seen.
What's that? I'm almost done. This will be the last question.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen several different. They were in real estate. That some of them are investors and they don't have a sign. They're just giving general information, like this is how you qualify for a loan, or this is how what you should look for in a house. They don't have any type of like brokerage or even a company name.
Are they real estate agents?
I know some of the videos I've seen were, and some of them are investors, things like that.
I mean, obviously, a private investor doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to.
No.
But if you're
a real estate licensee and you're actually advertising, yeah, you have to.
So even if it's just like general informational, these are
correct.
Some kind of loans you can look at.
Right. Anything that's related to your real estate business, if you're a licensee, has to have your brokerage on it.
Okay.
All right, I think that's it for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Well, we can have Dax in the panel at the end for questions as well, so if we have more, we can get to them then.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're going to be around.
Who's done next?
Me and then Steve. So thank you, Dax. Yay. All right, I'm next and I have handouts, so let's pass them down and around. There's two different ones, one's stapled, one's not. All right, we're running a little behind, so I'm going to get going right away and try to hustle through. My name is Liz Dysart, and I'm with the Crawford team at VIP Mortgage. I am a licensed loan officer, but I don't originate. I have a great team who does that. My job for 10 years has been on the marketing side of the real estate industry, helping our agent partners grow their business through social media, coaching, lead generation, and anything related to their real estate business. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about easy ways to implement video into your business this year. And I know Amanda Sue kicked us off with some really great stats about why video, and I have a few of those too. I'll probably skip over. I can email you the presentation if you like. But quick show of hands, who uses video regularly in their business already? Okay, and those of you that do raise your hands, what type of videos are you producing? Jared, I'm picking on you back here.
Stories mostly, and a little bit on YouTube, but I need more.
So I've seen yours. So you do a little bit of kind of real estate content with showcasing different homes, and then you also do some educational stuff, right? Anyone else do anything different than that? Yes, ma'am?
I do like home decor.
Awesome.
On Instagram, YouTube, and my own website.
Love that. Anyone else?
Videos on new listings.
Videos of new listings, great. Love that.
Do open house videos and join us here, but we've never put the brokerage in there, so that's
something to work on.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Well, for those of you that aren't doing video, what would you say your main challenges are? Why have you not implemented video into your business? I heard fear earlier is a big objection. What else?
Editing.
Editing, okay, that's a great objection.
Quickly editing.
You don't know what to say. So that's one that I hear most commonly. I don't know what to say and I don't know where to find content. So that's really what I'm going to talk about today. I have some stats. Amanda Sue gave you guys a lot of great stats, but specifically there are some great ones on what buyers want in video and what sellers want in video that I wanted to touch on really quick. So this was a great study, it's old, but they said that 86% of home buyers wanted video to find out about a specific community. So that's especially important for people that are relocating to a different part of town or to another state. They want to know a little glimpse of what life is like in McCormick Ranch or Gainey Ranch or Desert Ridge or whatever area they're considering. The second thing was they wanted tours inside of homes. These days, a lot of our buyers are very busy and can't go out and look at 15 houses. They want to use video to help narrow down their choices and go look at their top 3. The number 3 reason was to obtain general information. We talked about some of the educational videos. But those were really what buyers wanted in videos. Other things, understanding features of the home, deciding which company to purchase from, watching customer testimonials. So lots of different reasons. And then sellers, 73% of homeowners said they're more likely to list with a realtor who will create a video for them. 75%, 3 out of 4 sellers. So if you're not using video for listings, that's something that we would definitely encourage you to do. And this one blew my mind. Real estate listings that include a video in the listing receive 400% more inquiries than one without. So going forward, it's going to be more and more important that you do have videos to showcase your listings. They don't need to be super high quality produced drone videos, as Amanda Sue said. These days, really a walkthrough video or a less professionally produced video will almost work just as well, especially in our current market. I wanted to touch on this briefly as well before I go into content ideas. One thing to really keep in mind is the different platforms that you post the videos on. Consumers go there with a different purpose. So you need to keep the purpose in mind of the platform, which will make a big difference in what content you post on that platform. So this is a great little chart, and I can email it to you guys if you've signed in. Make sure to sign in and we can email this out. But this basically says, if your audience is on social media, what they are doing on social media is exploring. They're not there to learn specifically. They're there for entertainment. They're exploring mostly. So those type of videos need to be for discovery and engagement mostly. Short little snippets, introducing who you are briefly and giving little pieces of content, not long and drawn out. If if your audience is on a website, if you have a website that receives a lot of traffic, or if you push people there through ads, people go to websites or go to Google to look for something, right? They want information. So those types of videos can be more content marketing videos that are a little bit more longer, have more meat to them, and they're meant to educate or entertain consumers. Different than social media videos. And if it's your general About You website that people go to, those are people that are considering using you as an agent. So that's where you can make more videos that are more personal to build trust and a connection with the consumer. So I really wanted to point out different types of videos for different platforms before I get into what type of content. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to skip over these. I can send them out, but we'll get right into types of videos for real estate. So these are the most 4 common types that I see very often, and I really encourage you to vary these types. If you stick with all one type of video, it's likely that you're going to alienate a big part of your audience. Because as we've talked about, 95% of people are not ready to buy or sell right now. So if all you do is showcase listings and talk about the home buying and selling process, they don't care about that right now. It's not relevant to them. So it's a great idea to vary different types of content. But the 4 types that I'm going to touch on today are videos for follow-up. And this is where I've seen agents implement video quickly to make the biggest impact, is videos for follow-up in their business for different lead types. And I'll talk about that in a minute. The second type is videos for client engagement. Those are more like database drips, nurturing drips that they send to their database as well. They're using video instead of like an email, and those work well. The third one is videos for transactional milestones. And I've seen some of the top teams in town implement this recently. We do this on the loan side for our team, but it's difficult generally to do so. It requires a little bit of work. But has anybody done that? Implemented transactional milestone videos? Does anyone understand what that means? Or do you want me to explain?
Yeah.
I'm going to get to it. But basically it's at every stage in the home buying or selling process. So when you have a client from start to finish, they're going to be getting video updates from you at every milestone throughout the transaction. So under contract, appraisal ordered, appraisal came in low or appraisal came in high, inspections complete, here's what we need to pay attention to. So we're going to talk about those as well. And then lastly, which I see most commonly, is educational videos. That's what a lot of agents are already producing. So the first category is video ideas for follow-up. And these are where I really see huge differences in agents' business very quickly. And these are videos that are cheap, free to make, and you can do very quickly. So the first one is before a listing presentation, to introduce yourself to a potential seller. That would be, and actually I give you scripts for these, one of the things. But that one would be simply, hi, this is Liz with VIP Mortgage. I'm so looking forward to meeting you tomorrow at your home to discuss selling your property. I've included a list of comps for you to review prior to our meeting. Tomorrow I'm going to educate you on our current market conditions, my specific marketing strategy to sell your property, and timelines and your goals and needs. I look forward to meeting you tomorrow. Have a great night. Something very simple like that. You're not giving them an out to cancel. You're telling them what you're going to do. You're foreshadowing what the appointment will look like. And you're sending them the comps or the pre-listing package ahead of time so that you don't have to spend 40 minutes arguing over them with comps tomorrow. So that's a really good one. I gave you guys a script for that in here. I'm going to steal this actually really quick. I'll give it back to you. But that one is the before listing presentation script here. And these are obviously samples. Make them sound like you, but these are good ones to start with. After a listing presentation, same thing, but the purpose of this one is a little bit different. What's the purpose of after a listing presentation video?
Solidify the relationship.
Or what, more specifically than that? Get the listing agreement signed, right? So if you haven't done that in the listing appointment, this video is going to kind of mention that again and what the next steps in the process are.
Shouldn't you have a lag time? Like, don't do it as you're walking out the door.
No, I would do it the following day. Great point. Yes. And I think I put that, meeting you yesterday or whatever, or today, yeah. But either one, I would say either, if you do it in the morning, that give a few hours of lag time at minimum, or the following day. You can also do similar videos before and after buyer consultations. I really recommend these as well, and I encourage you to give buyers a little bit of homework before a buyer consultation as well. That will save you so much time in the buyer consultation. So that's something that I mentioned in the sample script also. Have them fill out a home buying questionnaire and bring it filled out to the appointment. That will save you having to verbally ask them all of those questions, and then you can just dive in and ask additional questions to clarify if needed. But those are fabulous also. Notice in these video scripts, I didn't say, hi, Jan and Bob, because why?
Because you can record one and send it out over and over.
That's exactly right. So with these, you could potentially record 6 videos and use these all year long in your business, all the time. The night before a buyer consult, just text it to them or email it to them, whatever's easier. So they're meant to be generic but personal, if that makes sense. The next one is people who attended open houses. I know Amanda Sue and Taylor recommend this to a lot of their clients, but video follow-up has been the most effective strategy that I've seen in the agents that I coach with conversion in open houses. Do any of you do video follow-up after an open house?
Couple times.
Has it worked for you?
Well, I don't do enough, so we have to be consistent.
You do. So why would that work? So generally when people visit open houses, they go to multiple in a day, right? And even though they may have liked you and they had a great conversation, if they visited 3 after you, do you think they're going to remember your name?
Nope. God.
No? Do you think that they kept your card that you offered them? If they didn't sign in? But if they get a text from you with a video and they're like, oh yes, she was awesome, she was super nice, I remember her, and then you attach your V card, they have easy access to get a hold of you in their phone. And generally, people open videos via text message. They're curious, right? So it's more likely to get opened than any other form of communication following an open house. New listings, so that's another great way for follow-up is if you have buyers that are kind of sitting and waiting, you haven't heard from them in a while, send listing videos, little snippets, teasers for new listings on the market. Don't give them the address or price and get them to engage back with you in the buyer process. Similar favorite listing of the week, and I think we heard this one as an idea earlier. So those are some of my favorite video ideas for follow-up, and I did give you guys some little scripts here to use for those to get started to make it easier. The second is video ideas for client engagement, second category. And these are ones that are also very easy to do, to produce, and very quick. So I started about 1.5 years ago doing happy birthday videos to my clients. And it has been like, of everything I've ever done in my business, I'd say I got the most feedback on that. So I literally send a personal video, hey Taylor, happy birthday, I just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you today. I'm so grateful that I've known you for all these years and I look forward to catching up with you soon. I hope your family's doing well and I'd love to meet for coffee or a happy hour one day next week. Let me know if you have any time. So these days, texts get missed, right? People get 40 text messages on their birthday. Facebook messages, they get 300 sometime. That will get missed. But a personal video text will really go a long way to create a meaningful connection, so that's a great one. Business spotlights are one that I'm going to give you guys a visual example of later, but highlighting other business owners in the area are really great for client engagement as well. Congratulations. So if somebody has a major life event in your database, rather than same thing Facebook message, congratulations, that's so exciting, send them a video about it. It'll again go such a long way to create a deeper and more meaningful connection. Client appreciation event invites and follow-up, market updates via video, and holiday greetings are all really awesome touch points for client engagement with your database as well. So those are ones that I love.
How do you text all these? Put these into text?
So it depends on your CRM. A lot of agents have CRMs that enable them to send video or they use BombBomb. If you don't, I think text is most effective. However, a lot of these, if you're sending them to a lot of clients at once, like a specific segment of your database, it will be difficult to text it out one by one unless you have some sort of system that allows you to mass text. But yes, text generally is most effective for opening rates.
Now, quick question. So although they're your client and you have them in your phone, they may not, after the transaction, have retained you as a contact in their list for whatever reason.
Correct.
So does this text show up as a link or is it a preview
it shows up just like if you text a video to anybody else with a cell phone. So it actually shows the square video preview and then the play button.
Okay, that was my question, because I would delete. Like if you weren't in my phone and I see a link, click this, oh no, I don't think so.
Oh no, I would never send it as a link. Yeah, so it actually goes through as the visual video icon that they can see and click on. And if you are sending it to any type of cold list, I would encourage you to add your V card following that so they do know who it's from. So it has your title and all of your contact info. So these are like video on another level, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but these, in our coaching program, we give them scripts for all these as well. But these are using video as your transactional milestones with your clients. So instead of having to call every client and say, here's the steps to writing an offer, so every time you have a client, instead of verbally telling them, here's what it's going to look like when we write an offer, here's what it's going to look like if we get a counter, do a video and send that to all your clients. It streamlines so much time. So there's a whole list here, but you can introduce your lender through it, you can do lender videos, writing an offer, if the contract's accepted or not accepted, opening escrow, and you can introduce your favorite title and escrow partners in that video as well. Preparing for the home inspection, low appraisal or good appraisal, when they get the clear to close, what that means. I know a lot of people get worried at the end of the transaction when they're not hearing from anyone as often. And then at the after it's closed, a thank you or referral ask video is very effective as well. So a lot of the top teams are implementing video at all these stages throughout the transactions, really to streamline their client experience and allow them to handle more transactions in less time. Because that's really the goal that we all want to do, right? More transactions in less time, but still provide a phenomenal client experience. So that's what video can help you do. So, I know I'm flying, guys, but we're trying to get through a lot today. So content ideas now. I gave you guys a list of 101 content ideas here. I was going to go through them, but as we were short on time, I just printed them for you. So you have them here broken down by subjects. There's neighborhood videos, videos about condos, first-time home buyers, home selling videos, double dip videos, luxury home buying videos, luxury home selling videos, general real estate topics, general safety issues, a life in the day of a realtor, about you, local information, and then just fun or kind of entertainment videos. So 101 video ideas here. There are some really amazing ones. There's some that you're going to look at and say, I would never do that. Cross those out. But the ones that you say, okay, that could work, put a star by those and try to get to them this year. Steve is going to be up next talking about a lot of these as well and videos that have worked well for him in his business. But I don't know, should I do apps or should I skip to the panel? Okay. So I'm going to talk really quickly about 2 apps or tools that can help you produce videos quickly and easily. First, these are 3 apps that can provide additional content ideas. So if you don't like my content ideas, or if you find one of the content ideas and you say, okay, I want to talk about, condo laws, but I don't know where to find information on it, you can likely go to one of these 3 content providers, search by a keyword, and it'll pull up thousands of articles for you that you can utilize in your research before doing a video. So Medium is a great one. Co-Schedule Headline Analyzer and Feedly are all basically, they're AI that analyze all different news sources and articles and internet everywhere. They scour to find things with that subject matter or keywords and put together a list for you. So those are really helpful ones. And then some tech tools to produce videos. I'm going to talk about 2 quickly, and Steve's going to come up and talk about others. My favorite one right now is called Zoonami. And this is relatively new app, but I absolutely love it. What it does is it allows you to record a video on your phone. Actually, I'll pull up the app really quick. In the app, let's see. If you download it, it's free. There's a video idea button. There's a real estate category, and they have 40 real estate videos already in here as examples. If you click on the video, like how much money do I need to buy a home, it gives you the script that they've used. It allows you to fully edit the script through the app or delete it and upload your own text for the script. It then displays as a teleprompter as you're recording. So you can buy a tripod off of Amazon. You can change the speed that the teleprompter scrolls. If you mess up, you simply stop, keep going, stop, keep going. You upload the video to the app. They add in logos, B-roll, video, graphics, anything that you want, really. And then they get it back to you professionally produced in under 72 hours. It's $50 per video. Well, it's $50 once a month and you get one video. But they are amazing quality. I'm going to show you guys a quick example. So these are videos that I would use for marketing. These I wouldn't say necessarily are social media videos, as we talked about. Those can be done by yourself. Those don't need to be professionally edited. But if you're for branding purposes, marketing purposes, if you want something a little more professional, here's a quick example of what they do. So this is actually my home group agent, Tracy Randolph. And what she said was, oh geez. Well, that might not work. I can email it to you guys as an example. If it doesn't work, it's VIP blocks any unknown content. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to email them to you guys. But she's an agent in my home group, and she said one of my least favorite things to do with sellers is sit at their table and tell them that they need to declutter their house and get rid of all their junk and take down their family photos. And so we said, well, what if you made a video about it? That way you sent it to them prior to the listing appointment or after the listing appointment and said the same message, but you don't have to sit there face to face and see that look in their eyes that they're offended. So she made an amazing video. I'll email it to you guys so you can see it as an example. And then this was a great one, a business spotlight in a neighborhood example. They did a similar thing there. But all this was done using their smartphone and the app, and they got it back professionally, quality, everything, music, layout, design, everything. So I'll send you those. And then the second app I'm going to talk about really quick is Videolicious. And this one has a free version that is unbranded, so the videos will not have your branding on them, or a paid version that allows you to add all of your branding at the beginning and the end. But this one is basically the same thing. I'll play a 1-minute demo. But it allows you to do the same thing. The difference is you have to put in other images and B-roll yourself. So, is it muted? Obviously. No. Well,
your computer's muted. Yeah, unmute your computer.
Computer's not muted.
No, it's not muted.
Oh.
Yeah, it worked earlier. This was the same way we played Catherine's video.
If you turn on this TV, this one, the audio plays out of this one.
Oh, well. Sorry guys, we're having a little bit of, here we go.
Hey everybody, Matt Singer here. I'm at 85 West End Avenue. Gorgeous living apartment with a brand new kitchen featuring stainless steel appliances that you're going to love. The bedroom has excellent light and very clever built-ins like this desk and this well-appointed closet. So give me a call if you have any questions. I'm excited to give you a personal showing, and thanks for watching. That's it. So let's just put it all together. As a final step, I'm going to add some music. And let's see the final result. Hey everybody, Matt Singer here. I'm at 85 West End Avenue. Gorgeous living apartment with a brand new kitchen featuring stainless steel appliances that you're going to love. It has excellent light and very clever built-ins like this desk and this well-appointed closet. So give me a call if you have any questions. I'm excited to give you a personal showing, and thanks for watching. That's it.
So
your video is ready to send out.
So that one is the paid version. You saw his branding at the end. I will say it is easy. It's not quite as easy as he made it. He's obviously very familiar. The difference is you have to have your own video footage as he did to put in as the B-roll, or your own photos to use. If you're a person that is very challenging for, you're going to get frustrated, it's probably worth the $50 to have Zoonami do it for you and get it back in 72 hours rather than trying to figure it out on your own. But if you are somebody who's tech savvy and has that content available for you, Videolicious is an amazing option for professional quality videos.
How much does Videolicious charge?
There's a free version without branding.
Okay. With branding?
With branding, I do not know the current pricing. Do you know? It's expensive. Last I checked, I remember thinking, wow, that's quite expensive. So they don't offer like a per video option. It's like a subscription based thing to have branding. And last I checked, it was more like brokerage type option. So the costs were quite high. But the unbranded version could work quite as well if you're attaching a V-card or putting it on your own social media.
What does B-roll mean?
B-roll means background shots, so that it's not just you standing in front, in the video, your face the whole time. It can have pictures of the house or pictures of the neighborhood, or it puts
so
in
like
the fillers.
This guy took the video of different sections of the house. That's the
Correct.
B-roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about like
and then you're overlaying his audio.
Think about like prescription drug commercials, right? They've got a couple walking, holding hands, the kids riding the bike, the pan and zoom of the
diarrhea and the death.
Yeah.
So the different,
like just fillers.
Yeah, and the difference is, so if you have your own or access to it, Videolicious is great for you, but Tsunami has every stock photography and video access available. So if you don't have it, they'll find it and put it in for you. So that's the great thing about having somebody edit it and do it for you.
So hours of your life versus $50.
$50 or, yeah. So it really just depends if you want to spend time or money. Those are two great options for you.
Spending time for money.
Yes. And now we are going to have Steve come up because I think we're a little bit over. But I hope that was helpful for you guys. Some great content ideas. Get out there and make videos. They're not hard. Thank you. Hi, how's it going?
Good. I am just gonna talk. No.
That comes out in front of you.
All right, guys. So next up is Steve Panate.
That's fine.
Sorry.
All right, cool. No worries. All right, hey guys. Thanks for saying those who stayed until the end. They say they saved the best for last. That's her husband's in the back saying like, what? No, my wife's the best.
Let's see.
But yeah. So okay. So it's been awesome. I've sat through almost all of them, and so it's been really great. So I actually wanted to. So my portion was about whether or not you should be doing YouTube, and if you do, what stuff is on there, and so on. And I sort of wanted to take a small little like twist instead, and kind of talk about the format of video from my experience and like what has worked. And what I mean by that is like the actual framework of what your video should look like. Now, I know that Liz spoke about various types of videos and so on after open houses, etc., etc., etc. Okay, this won't apply to that type of video. Okay, what I am going to talk about is that I firmly believe. Look at this. Check this out. From my experience, okay, everybody should have some type of signature show and or video series, okay? And then what I mean by that is this, okay? When I started real estate, the first video I ever made, okay, the first one I ever made, okay, I actually started a video series called the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. Okay, and so I was also doing the open house videos after, you know, to clients after showings, you know, but this here was my what I call signature show. Okay, so every single week across my social media platforms, I was doing a video on the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. Okay, so I named it that. People can name it, you know, what you want and so on. Okay, but look at this. Here's why this is important, and here's why this is actually powerful. Okay, so when you're able to create some type of video series. Yeah. Okay. I call it a signature show because this is what people are going to know you from. Okay. And then here's why. Okay. Because you probably won't be doing a open house each week, which I hope you do. You know, but you know, probably not. Okay. But you should be showing up every single week in some way, shape, or form using video. Okay? Therefore, okay, if you're able to create a video show, what I, you know, named mine and so on, what that is going to do is this, okay? It is going to help you, okay, have more clarity and consistency in your video platform in your business. Okay, so for example, you could do something like Sean Knows Real Estate or whatever and so on, you know. But every single week, people know there is going to be a video out on Sean Knows Real Estate. Okay, and so I call that your signature show, which means you are going to be doing it for the rest of your life as a real estate agent, or until video is non-relevant anymore. Okay, but your signature show is going to allow you to build some consistency within your video platform in your business. Okay, so I would encourage everybody in this room to actually begin to think about what type of video series could I begin to implement in my business. Now, what is going to be in these videos? Well, the second part I have done in my personal experience is this, okay? So this show I have, which is on YouTube and so on, you know, it was all value-based content. And what I mean by that is this, okay? On this show I had, that was one video every single week. I never really showcased homes and or my listings and so on. I always simply provided some information in regards to the real estate process. Okay, so it could be, you know, 3 tips of how to sell your house in the spring season, you know, 4 tips for people wanting to buy a house during the spring season. Okay, some type of informational value to the consumer. Okay, so my signature show, my videos were all about being able to provide information to the consumer. It's all it was, okay? And so, okay, so I think, look at this, having a video series is going to allow you to stay accountable with yourself, number 1. Number 2, it's going to allow you to stay consistent, okay? And number 3, okay, you'll notice you are going to begin to build a video library of videos full of information that you can begin to use even later on, okay? And this is what I mean. So I started this video series, okay, this show, okay, and all it was this: I committed myself to doing 1 video a week, okay. And so instead of doing videos, I called it the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. I'm like, hey guys, welcome to the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. Now on this video, we are going to be talking to buyers, okay? So every single week, I committed myself to putting out 1 video of the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. Okay, now so many agents, okay, look at this. So many agents, the reason why they don't see success in video is because they're so random about it. Okay, there's one video here, and then 6 months later, you know, there is another video there, and you know, oh my gosh, this sucks, it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work because you really don't have any structure, okay, in your marketing plan with video that has allowed you to see success in it. Okay, so look at this. Everyone in this room, you have to begin to think about, okay, what is going to be my signature video series? Everyone in this room, and whatever that's going to be, you have to make sure that you at least commit yourself to one video every other week. It doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be nice, but it has to be consistent, okay? And people will begin to remember you by whatever your signature show is called. Okay, I've seen this happen. Okay, I've walked some agents through a process of creating some type of signature show. I say show, but it's a video series that never ends. Okay, and so all of a sudden, 6 months later, they're like, dude, man, I was here, and someone mentioned they watch my video series. Okay, so what ends up happening is this, okay, your consistency will allow you to build trust, authority, and brand around who you are as a real estate agent. Okay, so one of the most powerful things any agent can do right now at the beginning of this year, okay, 2020, is begin to think about what you are going to do in regards to creating a video series in your business. Am I making sense a little bit? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay, who in here watches YouTube videos? Okay, so every YouTube video has a what? Has a name to the channel, right? Or a name to the show, right? Yes? Yeah. Sorta? Okay, hey guys, this is Mike here with Mike and Grilling Barbecue or whatever. Or I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But okay, they have a name to their video series. They have a name to their show. Okay, and so everybody usually follows YouTube channels, and everybody here probably knows exactly what it's called because you've seen it so many times, right? Okay, the exact same principle has to happen in your business with your real estate videos. Okay, so what you are going to do is this: begin to create a signature show within your business, and every single week you are going to begin to make videos over and over. Hey guys, this is so-and-so from the Bum 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 show, and so this week we are going to be talking to sellers, and we are going to be talking about inventory. Okay, but if you keep showing up every single week with, hey guys, this is Steve with the Steve Talks Real Estate Show, and I say it over and over and over and over, okay, that's the reason why so many people kept saying, well, Steve, because I showed up over and over again with my signature show, okay, and then people began to recognize me. Oh yeah, that's the guy who's always doing video. Oh yeah, that's the guy who has that show. Oh, that's Steve from the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. And then that's how you began to truly see impact using video in your real estate business. Am I making sense here?
Yeah. How long are your videos?
Honestly, I don't know. Somewhere a minute long, some are 6 minutes. You know, it all depends what you are going to talk about. Okay, so yeah, sorry.
Do you go live or do you normally edit them?
Yeah. Okay, so this, all those things are super important, okay? But right now, I really want you to focus on being able to create some consistency in your video. Okay? So one of the best ways is this: create a show, create a channel, create a series that has a name and you stick to it forever. Okay, so at first it might seem dumb. Oh, you know, I remember when I started the Steve Talks Real Estate Show, everybody was like, oh wow, look at Steve, huh? He's a hot shot, you know, he's doing videos, you know, he has a show, whatever, and so on, you know, and then I just kept on doing it, and then those people that were calling me hotshot were later on looking for me to buy a house because I kept the consistency. I created a framework around my video marketing in my real estate business that allowed me to stay consistent doing video. Am I making sense here? Sorta, kinda. Yes. Okay, so look, okay. So I am gonna shoot this really fast. Now, check this out real quick. Look at this. Watch this. Hold up a second. I can't hook up, but I am going to show you this real quick, okay?
Do you want me to hook up? She said we have a thing in here.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. I'll just flash this real quick. Now, okay, so look at this. I will flash this here real quick. Okay, so watch this. Here's out. Look at this. Okay, what I am going to talk about here, okay, I made a workbook for you guys. Okay, I was going to print it out, but honestly, I finished it literally, and I couldn't email it out, okay? But look, here it is, okay? If you want this, send me an email after class, and I promise you, I'm going to send this to you, because what I'm about to explain to you is explained in detail here, but this is going to be the Cliff Notes, okay? But it talks about the signature show, yada, yada, yada here, okay? But look at this. Watch. Check this out. Where's that marker at that I had it?
On the drop. Oh, right here.
Okay, so look. Okay, so watch, check this out. Okay, because I know that a lot of you guys are like brand spanking new at this, right? Like brand spanking you, right? Okay, so this year I committed myself to doing more video on my phone, so that I can also be showing people, hey, you don't need fancy stuff. All you need is your phone when I'm doing my signature show, you know? Okay? So check this out. I was actually going to show you guys this real quick. Okay, so here's on. If you are going to do your signature show, okay? So let's say, what's your name, sir? Randy. Okay, Randy. Okay, so Randy says, you know what, Steve, my gosh, I was so inspired in your class. Jeez Louise, I am going to create something called, No One Sounds Like Randy. My God. Awesome, Randy. You know what? You're amazing. Go out, do your videos, and so every single week, Randy is going to come on video and say, hey guys, this is Randy from No One Sounds Like Randy, your real estate professional here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. Now, on this video, I am going to be talking to buyers. And here are 3 tips to have the competitive edge during the spring season when inventory is so low. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. When you are doing video, okay, it's very important. Now, okay, now look at this out. Most of the video you'll do, it could be on the fly. When you're doing stories, it's just on the fly. When you're doing the open house, after open house videos and so on, it's on the fly and so on. When you're sending just a quick video to your, past clients and so on, it's on the fly, okay? When you're doing your signature show, you're going to invest some of your energy into being able to do it well. Say with me, I'm going to do it well.
They're doing it well.
Okay, that's a start. Okay, here's why. Okay, look at this. Here's out. The moment people see at least some type of effort into it, you won. Okay, because 99% of real estate agents still want to do it the easy way. Okay, and so anybody that out like, you know, looks, you know, in sound and so on, will win over everybody else. Am I making sense here? Okay, so look at this. Okay, so check this out. I want to encourage you guys, okay, that you can begin doing your signature show on your cell phone. Okay? Now I see so many agents. They do videos on their cell phones, and it kind of resembles like their signature show. They are doing an interview with the lender, doing an interview with someone in escrow, etc., 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 and then they have their phone, okay, set up, and then they are literally 1 mile away from their phone, and the sound quality is just nasty.
You can't hear it.
It's just horrible. You know, the other day I was literally watching this incredible agent. Okay? Alright, he's awesome. And then he was doing an interview with a lender. Okay? And literally, his phone was like so far away from their voice. I'm like, dude, you just wasted your time here. Like, no one's gonna be like, you know, hold up a second, he said interest rates, I think. Like honestly, you know what I'm saying? Look at this, here's up. I want you guys to earn your commission. You know, earn your client. You know, show them that you actually, you know, want to invest in your business, that you mean business, that you're serious about your business, you know, and so it takes a little bit of effort from you guys, okay? Is this easy? Absolutely not. Is it worth it? Absolutely yes, okay? It's not easy, which is why most agents don't want to put the time into it. I'd rather, look at this, I would rather invest the next 3 weeks or 2 weeks of this month, okay? I would rather invest the next 2 weeks of this next month and study how I am going to do this, what I need to do it really well. And I would literally only do this the rest of this year. Just videos every week. But the next 2 weeks might feel like you're not doing anything. You're like, well, you know, I'm wasting my time. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing phone calls. I'm not doing this. But that's how long it takes to actually invest into teaching yourself how to do something. Okay, so look at this. Here's a start. Okay? Am I loud? I'm like spanking you guys, huh? That's good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes real estate agents need a good spanking. Alright, look at this. This microphone right here, okay, is only 20 bucks. 20 stinking bucks. I actually bought it to get to my house here to show you guys, because I have 2 of them at my house in Texas that I forgot to pack.
You should have just called me, Steve.
Okay, in this and so on, if you email me, okay, it's all on there, okay? What you need to like literally sound and look like $1 million. And all you do is hook up this microphone to your phone. You put it up your shirt. Okay, it's a 20-foot cable microphone.
Where do you buy it?
Amazon. Okay, I ordered it yesterday morning. It was at my house when I landed last night here. I was like, dang, that was fast. 20 bucks. Okay? Just this will literally make you sound 1 million times better than any other agent out there right now. That is trying to sit down and like do an interview and yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? They sell one. I saw on Amazon yesterday. I don't own it, but they sell one that has an extra mic on the same hookup so that you can literally do interviews. So like you can literally be at a house you sold with your buyers and say, hey, may I make a quick video with you? You know what I'm saying? You just put yours on, they put theirs on, do a fast video real quick. I don't know, you know, ask them a question, say, hey, what's one thing you would recommend, you know, or I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Invest. Huh?
Can I take a picture?
Yes, sir.
Pass it around. Not allowed.
Here, you get
So,
pass it
so
around.
on these,
Okay, so look at this.
so
Okay,
if you have two clients, can you connect two of these two? If you have somebody you're doing a testimonial on, do you need two of these mics, and how do you connect them together?
Okay, so they have one that has like, you know, both like that. Yeah. So on Amazon, write it in. So on, literally 20 stinking bucks. I am gonna leave this one here for when I'm in town. But look, so how much time do I have? We're almost done, huh? We're like,
Take what you need.
no. All right, okay, look. Is this good or no?
It's good.
Sorta, kinda.
Yeah.
Good.
Can you use the Bluetooth?
You could also use Bluetooth, actually. I think so.
For about 40 bucks, you can get a Bluetooth, 49 maybe.
Yeah, you know, but you know, this is an example. You know,
A little bit.
but yeah, how you know how easy it is to actually do video very well. Okay, so this I want to do a challenge here. Okay, I want to challenge everybody here in this room. Okay, I want to challenge you guys. Okay, actually, you were doing it for a while, weren't you, Craig?
I was. I just haven't been. I haven't. My show died.
What'd you call it?
I didn't have a name for it, so that's why I lacked consistency. I just did topical videos.
Look at this. Okay, look. Check this out. Listen to me, Linda. Listen to me. Listen to me. I promise you, there's power. There's power when you call it something. Okay? If you are just gonna do random videos, your video marketing pillar is gonna be random.
They gotta recognize you.
I promise you, there's power in this. Okay? Literally, everyone on YouTube understands that. Okay? We should too. Okay? Go to YouTube and see what people call their channel. That's what their show is called. That's what their video series are called. And they do that for a reason. Okay? It's going to help you. It's going to help you in your consistency. It's going to help you in your structure. It's going to help you in your branding because you'll be saying it every time you have a video out. It's going to help you in building trust. You know why? Because you're showing up every single week. Like honestly, one of my biggest pet peeves is when agents do one video and then never do one again for 6 months. It's like, dude, if you can't be consistent with your video marketing, how are you going to be consistent in other areas in your business?
So where do you post them? On YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube or Facebook.
So you have to like invite people to like follow you on different things like this, subscribe.
Correct. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, so your audience grew organically on Facebook, right? Because you were public profile.
Correct,
And then
yeah.
you started posting your videos. Yeah, and you, I mean, second year, did 50 plus deals from videos, right?
Yeah. It has to grow organic. Now, I know everyone's hungry in this room. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta eat next month. You know? But honestly, if you are going, look at this. If you are going to build a pillar, pillars aren't built overnight. Like, if you are gonna be a real estate agent for the next, 20 plus years, which I hope you are, you know what I'm saying? That's why we're in here.
Or sell it.
Or sell it, but where I am getting to is this, okay? This is something that is not going to be one video, one deal. This is going to be 1,000 videos and possibly 4 deals, but it's going to increase over time. You know? Check this out. Check this out. Let me give you an example of, like, you know, how powerful this is, okay? So, So for 4 years straight, I just kept doing it, okay? Just kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And then I remember when I filmed, okay, my 100th video of the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I filmed 100 videos in my series. I'm like, this is insane. For me, it was like, I mean, like I had won the lottery. You know why? Because I was proud of myself. Like I stuck. I'm like, dude, who else has done 100 videos on a stinking, you know, video series in real estate? I'm like, man, this feels amazing. So watch this out. Last year I moved, okay, states, okay? I literally didn't film one video of the Steve Talks Real Estate Show. None. But you know what though? The 4 years I was doing it so consistently, okay, I reaped the fruits of that last year. So I had so many videos out on this, okay? People still thought I was still doing it, and I didn't even film one new video. And guess what was still ringing? My phone. Guess what was still filling up with messages? My inbox and Facebook and Instagram. You know, so it's the long game. You know, you have to you have to commit yourself. Okay, if you are going to make video a pillar in your business, okay, don't expect your first one to be, you know, amazing. You have to grow into it. How many here exercise? All right. I haven't exercised in a while, but I remember, okay? But I remember when I wanted to grow a muscle, I had to what? Work it out over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's how video is. You know, your first ones suck. And then maybe your number 40th video within your series is a lot better. You know, and then, you know, maybe your 100th video, you know, you're a natural. Some people are like, Steve, oh my gosh, you know, for you it's easy and so on. Dude, I've done over 300. I mean, you know, by then it kind of makes it easier, right? So you have to stay committed, and the first thing I'm going to encourage you all in here is create some type of video series that is going to allow you to stay consistent in your video marketing pillar in your business. And then mix it up with all the rest of the random videos you have.
Once a week, once a month.
Whatever you can be consistent with.
Exactly. Whatever you think you can do. I have agents, oh, I'm going to do one once a week. And then they realize, dang, this is hard. You know what? I'm going to slow down. I would start, literally, I would honestly start with just one video every other week. You know, maybe one day, you know, we'll do a workshop here. I'll speak with them here, you know, but maybe walk you guys through, you know, how to build out your show and like yada yada yada. Go via the workbook and so on, because this workbook I created, okay, is 40 pages long. Okay, and it literally literally walks you through, I mean, how someone that has never even filmed anything, like, at the end of it, if you don't know how to, we're not the problem anymore, you know what I'm saying?
Is it a workbook or is it a video?
No, it's a workbook.
Why?
See, if you're after doing 300 plus videos, have you found it easier or more difficult to record multiple different videos at once and then just save them as pre-recorded and then you just push them as you go?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe easier, you know,
Maybe
just
it's already
because.
kind of in the mindset, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know, you've done a lot of it, so
Yeah. You know, like, I get berries, you know. Sometimes I will sit down and I'll do 4 videos all at once, you know. It's just, you know, just over time, release them and post them.
Have you found a platform like Hootsuite or Buffer that you can use to push them out to all your social medias?
You know what? I personally don't like doing that, so I've never used one before.
The algorithms actually hurt you a little bit.
Yeah.
when
You can't
use
do
all
that
the
for
cursors.
videos.
You can't do it for video?
No. As she said, the algorithms know that it's replicated content on all the platforms, so it'll actually decrease your engagement on all the platforms. So you can post it organically, and I would do it on different days also, and vary the text, like the caption, with the video a little bit also.
Is that what
Yeah.
you do?
Is that the same
How many
for
mediums do
postings
you,
with those?
media shows do you post it on?
Honestly, me, I just post it on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I think this. Check out. I'm still a big fan of Facebook. Okay, I still think it's the best platform for a real estate agent to reach their audience with video. You know, I mean, that's my personal thing. But once again, though, you know, it's not about one video. I mean, you have to just show up.
Do you post on your personal page or do you have a business real estate page?
Personal page.
Oh, personal page, really?
Yeah.
So you should. So you mix up the business stuff with your personal, or you go all business with the Steve?
Honestly, I only use business to run ads.
Okay.
Otherwise, no one sees it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just.
So on the personal, you don't call yourself your name. You call yourself the Steve
No,
Cox.
I call myself my name still.
Okay, and then people just follow you under your name.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah. So we're friends, and then, you know, one day you'll see a picture of me at the hockey game, and then you'll wake up the next morning and I post it in my next video.
Okay.
You know, it's just like, yeah, just on the page.
What's your email address?
Oh shoot, let me give you guys a name. How can you buy this? Now, if it's overwhelming, we will make sure we have a class for it, okay? But if you send me it, Steve Canate, I am one of the few agents that has my home group email address. I'm an OG from 2014. All right, so we are gonna, I think, host a panel. Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Great.
Sort of
You
good.
are great. You are great.
Sort of. It's hard to I mean, I wish I could spend hours with you guys.
Be careful what you wish for. We'll keep you here for a few hours.
All right, so we're just gonna open it up for general questions. Stephanie's coming back.
You guys are troopers.
I know, we have good.
Yes. Steve, that's all you need is the
Steve
mic
was
and your
great.
phone, that's all.
He
Yeah,
probably stretches out on the thing.
Yeah, and
How do you
tripod.
sort your ideas of what you want to talk about?
That's the easiest thing in the world.
So
Yeah.
you have 101 right here.
Yeah, I know, seriously, right there. Yeah.
So, you guys have gotten today statistics that you can use in your videos, right? You've gotten a step-by-step instruction of how to do Instagram stories and how to make them engaging. You've gotten 101 content ideas with scripts from Liz. And you got more content ideas and more proven strategies to help you close more deals using video. And some things from the attorney. And some ideas of how you can be more presentable on video. Does anybody feel like they still have an excuse not to start doing video?
Just to keep doing video, that's what I use as an excuse.
The consistency, right? I mean, honestly, the amount of content that these guys have given you absolutely free, I think is just incredible. So, thank you,
Yeah,
speakers.
good.
You guys
And I think, both Stephanie and Steve are true testaments of agents that have used video primarily to grow their business as a free marketing platform, and it's worked so well for them. They're two that have done it the best here locally, I'd say, so having them here has been awesome. Both of them do it. Stephanie posts every day, stories all day, every day. Steve does as well. So being out there is so important, and I think I know I'm not as consistent as I need to be on social media, but if you are, that's where you reap the rewards, and we've seen you guys do that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing you do to get leads? It's just by video?
No,
Oh.
but remember this. This is my example. Okay, check it out. So every house has various load-bearing walls, right? Right. It's never only one wall, right? Okay. Your business has to have multiple pillars. Okay, that's hold it up. Okay, so it could never only be one pillar. Okay, it has to be multiple pillars. So video, open houses, and whatever, yeah, and so on. Build up your multiple pillars so that you're not relying. Because honestly, one day we have no internet, and then what?
Exactly. Yeah. Business
Or
is
the
that.
city changes their ordinance on how you can advertise your open houses, or cold calling and texting isn't a thing anymore.
Or Instagram changes their algorithm.
Yeah, seriously.
Or
Anytime
open door comes in.
Yeah. Anytime I hear agents who are like, oh, I get 90% of my business from this one thing, that makes me really nervous. That makes me super nervous. So I always think 3 minimum. You gotta diversify.
Especially with referrals too. When one of your clients is out chatting with a friend and they say, I'm thinking about selling my house, who should I use? And they say, oh, you should use Susie Q with my home group. She's the best, here's her number, call her. What's the first thing they do? They Google you.
Yeah.
So even if you're a mainly referral-based business, you still have to have that online presence. And like Stephanie said, going into that listing appointment where she had already won the listing before she got there, that's 100% from her online presence. Even if that were a referral, they still would have Googled her. And that's going to make a difference of whether or not she wins that listing. Yes.
A question. So we have two different video people. You're mostly on which channels? Instagram. And not Facebook at all?
I'm deplorable on Facebook.
What's that mean?
I'm not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost non-existent on Facebook, and it's a problem. I should be putting more effort into it.
And that's and why did you choose Instagram for your channel?
I just saw more results.
Okay.
Doesn't your video also go to Facebook though?
I don't do it that way.
Yeah,
Should
it's
you?
a little
Or
bit
no?
of age demographics too, right?
It's knowing my ideal client.
Right, exactly.
So I know the clients that I'm trying to attract, and I know where they are and what kind of content brings them, and that's just kind of what I stuck. So I saw more results because of those things, yeah.
So, because it gets a little confusing, I'm going to feed off of what they said, but with Facebook ads, you drive them to your website, right? So they register, you get the contact info. I feel like there should be a goal in your marketing to drive them to one place.
Yeah.
Facebook, your business page, or your website. But with Steve's idea, where do you drive your marketing to? Is it your Facebook page, your personal wall, or whatever?
Yeah. So from that, within your videos, there are always various calls to action in your video. You know what I'm saying? So hey guys, here's my email address down below. Shoot me an email. Hey guys, here's my number. Shoot me a text. I'll answer you. Or there are various ways you can lead them right back to you. And hey guys, look at this. You're on here already. Shoot me a DM.
You got to make it easy for them. And I think having a hub in your business is absolutely crucial. But just like you wouldn't be having a conversation with somebody at an open house and they ask you something about the market and you wouldn't say, oh, go to my website, all the information's on there, right? So there's a little bit of, yes, we want to have a hub in our business where that's our core, that's where we're driving everybody. But that doesn't mean that on these other platforms that we need to be on, that we can't have conversations there as well. So on Facebook ads specifically, since you brought that up, yes, the most successful proven way to do Facebook ads is to drive them to your website, but that's for the 5% of people who are ready to buy or sell right now. For everybody else who's not ready to buy or sell right now, they're not going to go sign up for your website because they don't have an immediate need that website's serving. And so giving them a way that they can interact and get information before they're ready to make that decision. You could run a Facebook ad with a great video for information and say, hey, what should I do on the Steve Talks Real Estate Show next week? I need some content ideas. Leave me some ideas in the comments. And that could be worth your money because you're getting people to engage with you. And then, like Steve said, you can send them a DM afterward and follow up on that conversation to build a relationship. Definitely. Well said.
So, Steve, when you take the videos, do you edit them yourselves or do you send them out to get them edited?
You know what? I actually started myself, honestly, and really how I learned was on YouTube. I took YouTube how to edit videos, and then like
how does it take you per video to edit one?
Now it's a lot faster. When I started, I was spending like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes.
So do you feel that if you could have done it again, would you outsource it right away so you can spend your time?
Honestly,
or do you actually enjoy editing them?
No, honestly, I would. Why I didn't was because I was broke. I was starting out. I mean, like, you know, I honestly didn't have, you know, like extra money to like spend on that. So I just said, you know what, I'll just really hustle muscle and just learn it myself and do it. You know, look at this. Here's up. The average agent wastes so much time. And so I told myself, instead of wasting my time, I'm just going to edit. Right. So that's what I did.
I think too, don't let editing be a hindrance to doing video.
Correct, yeah.
If you're not tech savvy, we can't edit it. 95% of your videos don't need to be edited out.
Correct.
You don't
That's
edit
true
yourself
too.
as you're at the listing appointment, right? It's live, it's real time. And so maybe if you feel like, oh, if I do this video and I don't know how to edit it, I'm never going to post it, start with Facebook Live. Because then you don't have an option
Correct.
to edit it.
Yeah.
And that'll get you more comfortable with doing it in one take.
In the thing, I also talk about how to edit on your phone. So I mean, you know, I mean, like nowadays, it's really gotten so much more easier. I mean, I was doing this in 2014 when like none of this was like was in. Yeah, honestly, you know. And so nowadays, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's an app now.
Yeah, a lot of apps.
Yeah, lots.
You know, and so
like which one do you use yourself?
InShot, correct. And even on the free version, you can fully edit and music, everything. It's insane. InShot, yeah, it's insane what that app offers for free. Like, dang, for real.
Videolicious was another one that we talked about today.
It's a little pricey. Filmora Go is pretty cheap for the full version, and you can put intros, outros.
What's it called?
Filmora Go.
Oh, cool.
I do my overlays on it.
Wow.
And all that kind of fun.
If you want a fancy intro that says, you know, the
Filmora.
Amanda Sue Talks Real Estate Show or whatever to throw into the beginning or throw into the end of your videos, just go to Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You can get one for literally $5. That's customized and all animated. And
can anyone on the panel recommend software for, I guess it would be called watermarking photographs or, you know, adding captions or say you want to put your team name and phone number on a photograph?
Canva.
Yeah.
Canva.
Canva, you save it as a transparent PNG and then you upload that in the video app on top of your
And then to take that a step further, does anybody have software where you can watermark it where it's actually like a link, like if I click on that, it connects with
on most
On
platforms.
video? I don't know if you can click.
Not on video, but say on just a photograph.
On most platforms where you post it, it's not going to work. Pretty much the only place that's going to work is on your website.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to do any editing software. It's just linking it like you would link text on your website. You link the video the same way.
Can't you put in the description of the picture in the background? That way when you click on the picture, it goes to the site. If you're smart enough to know how to do that. I read you can do that, but I don't know how to do it. No?
Not that I know of.
And what was the software again to just watermark?
Canva.
C-A-N-V-A.
Canvas without the S. Yeah. Lots of really cool things that you can make flyers for your open houses with it. You can make logos with it. You can do it. Yeah, free. All social media graphics. Yeah. You've seen all those influencers on Instagram who have like quotes that they're like in their colors and it's got their logo at the bottom. Those are all made on Canva.
You can do a great Facebook cover photo like Steve has with all of his business branding, phone, email, everything, and that way you're 100% compliant on your social media pages as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
They've all got all the sizes in there for you. So you just say, I need a Facebook cover photo, I need a Facebook cover photo, I need a Facebook profile picture, I need an Instagram post. They've got all the sizes, the ideal size already in there for you.
And those Canva,
Canva.
Yeah.
Just be careful though, because if you're making a piece of like advertising marketing, that doesn't belong on your Instagram feed.
If you're what again?
If you're making like an open house flyer on Canva, that you're not uploading that to Facebook or Instagram, because that's gonna be
That's
very
deter
risky.
people.
Yeah, it's brand marketing. No text on Instagram and Facebook photos.
Don't add text.
Not if you're going to post it on Instagram or
To
Facebook.
Instagram or Facebook, because it'll.
They just want the photo.
Oh, really?
And Facebook actually does not put, Instagram probably does the same, but it does not put it in the news feed for people if there's more than 20% text.
So if I put a picture of a listing and the cover photo, I add my phone number and team name or something, they're gonna use that less.
Your cover photo is okay because it's just the one at the top of your profile that
But
means
in
that
the-
you're actually posting on your
In
feed.
the posting, you don't want to be doing
In the
that.
in the text
Oh, I
you
thought that
can.
would help you.
Like in the
That's
text
gonna hurt.
above it, but not actually as part of the photo.
That's kind of one of those like moral sins on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
didn't
one
know
of
that.
I get a lot of agents who come to me and they're like, audit my Instagram account, tell me what I can improve. And like the first thing that I always see is like all of their like it's just an it's like flyers and advertisements on their feed, and it's like that is the worst thing you can do because that stays there forever.
You can put them in your stories.
Stories are fine.
Well, the same thing you were saying, like if I use Buffer to do my postings across my platforms and say I'm just posting a listing.
Don't want to do
Don't do
that.
it.
You
Waste
want
of
to
time.
post them all individually?
Yeah.
Why would you be posting a listing? Who are you serving posting your listing?
Well, I work a lot with investors, so I might post off-market properties, and that's
Yeah.
where they're gonna go to see them. But like you said,
Is
I'm
the
only.
primary
I would have a
channel-
closed group on
Yeah.
Facebook that you
Or
post
an
those
email
to. I
list.
wouldn't post them just to your
To your
feed,
main-
to your
oh,
wall.
really?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will.
There are people know where to go for that information, but they're definitely not going onto Instagram for that information, and they're definitely not going onto Facebook for that information. So what would be really beneficial for you is you start building like a Facebook group or an email list to present those opportunities, and then you make it an exclusive opportunity. So that's actually a really great way to create gated content, and gated content means like as you bring in people from the funnel, say people find you on Facebook or Google or Instagram, they say, oh, this guy's kind of interesting. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. Then you invite the hand raisers, like the people who actually care about this stuff, to take it a step further and be part of like this exclusive community that you create on your Facebook group or on your email list. And then you're forcing them to give you their actual direct contact information, and you're able to then put that into a CRM so you control that relationship. The value of social media isn't even like being able to generate leads there, it's being able to convert them off of the platform into an
So
area
you're
where you
saying use
control.
that as a landing page to
Yeah.
engage them for their content.
Yeah.
Because if you
Their
just
content for their information.
If you just post it on Facebook to your normal wall, like less than 10% of your friend list will even see it, more like 6%
Yeah.
on average. And if those 6% that see it don't view it as relevant content, Facebook knows by how long they actually stop and look at the image, how quickly they scroll past it. Then even the next post will even have less viewers than the one before it. So you have to customize your content to the specific audience. Yeah.
And think about it this way too, the only way that Facebook makes money is through what? Ads. So are they gonna let you do marketing for free?
No.
No. So if you post something and it's visit me at my open house or new listing or something that has a call to action that's to give you their contact info, Facebook's algorithm can immediately recognize that's advertising. You gotta pay for that. And so they're not gonna show it to anybody because they want you to pay to get those eyeballs.
They even are doing that in videos now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're even listening, that they have Autobots that listen to every word of videos. So anytime there's a direct solicitation in a video as a call to action, they don't like it.
So
I
fascinating.
know.
So how do you do it? How, like with
You create and you create valuable content.
Yeah.
You
So they
create
keep
content that
following.
people find engaging and exciting and informative.
But you still
Because
don't you still do a call to action at the end?
Shoot me a
I
DM.
very, very,
Yeah.
very rarely. I almost never do a direct call to action.
Especially on Instagram
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
like if you've watched them, there is a thing at the bottom organically that says send me a message. So So Instagram's trying to promote people organically to interact with your stories. You don't need to tell them what to do. They've got that bar right there. They know exactly what to do.
And on Facebook, to comment underneath. So you don't even really need a call to action. They found your video somehow. They see, your page name, and they can comment below. What you should do then is obviously send them a DM to every single person who comments and try to get a conversation going.
DM, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, is direct message. So just sending them a private message.
Do those same algorithms apply to business pages?
It's even worse.
Oh, yeah, they don't show anything on business
they don't.
pages anymore. Pay to play.
Unless you're playing funny dog videos and have absolutely no marketing purpose for having a Facebook page, it's not showing up organically. Yeah, they want you to pay.
So you just post it so you can run an ad on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
Pretty
do
much,
that.
yeah.
I don't even pay any, like, all the leads I get I don't pay for. They're organic.
Yeah, but you
I have a hand that keeps going up.
That's why you should be doing videos.
Tomorrow,
Can you guys share any advice on how to grow your audience if you're new or if you're starting a new page? People say follow for follow or just start following people.
Oh, can I
with
take
local
this?
Scottsdale.
Yeah. Can I take this? Let's talk about this. Okay, so understand why you're actually trying to grow your audience.
Okay.
Okay, do you want 10,000 followers or do you want clients?
Clients.
Okay, you want clients. So we don't care about the followers as much as we care about cultivating like the right audience. So, like I said, you want to start with your database and start with the people who you already know, like, and trust. And then the easiest way to grow your audience organically, you don't want to do follow and follow because that pisses people off, and the algorithms will shut down your account basically if you're doing that because it's spammy. You don't want to bring in any bots or buy fake followers or buy fake engagement.
It's
You will
actually
get shut
illegal
down.
to
It is
buy
illegal.
followers.
Yeah, and why would you do it anyways? Because you're not going to become clients. It's just crazy.
And there you go. The only people that do
I
that
thought the
for
more
ego.
followers you had, the more people were going to see your stuff.
Are they real
They're-
people though? Like
No.
most followers on Instagram who like people buy are from farms, like account farms in India. They put 300 people into
But
a
I'm
warehouse.
saying if they're a
and
real
make
person,
fake.
isn't.
But you can't buy
No, because
You
if
have
you're
to
a real
check.
person who likely follows a lot of unknown businesses, right? They're probably following 3,000 of you. So the likelihood that they're going to see your post is very slim.
But if your friend follows you, aren't you technically tapping into your friend's
No.
audience?
Not at all. Not on
That's not
Facebook,
true.
not on Instagram.
That's not true.
That's not true. It's extremely direct channel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
the only way you could potentially is if you boost something on Facebook.
yeah.
It'll generally boost it to more of your friends first, and then friends of friends. Secondary connections. But
Oh, so
that's
you're not
only
even-
paid.
You're not even reaching a whole new
No.
audience.
No.
You're reaching what you thought you were reaching through
No.
followers.
Correct.
You
You're paying.
people are searching for content constantly. Like you can't quantify how much content, like Amanda Sue was saying at the top, content people are consuming. How many hours on video
1
on
billion
YouTube?
just on YouTube per day.
If you
1
boost
billion.
it-
So people are going to find it. You need to figure out, people are searching for content. You need to figure out what the people you're wanting to convert are looking for.
Key phrases you're saying?
What you start with is identifying your ideal client. Okay, so that's where like every business starts, and for some reason real estate agents don't do this.
No.
But
That's
look
not
at
come to anybody.
I know. So look at your database. Look at the people who you really enjoyed working with. What were their questions? What were their struggles? What were their goals? What were their desires? You get really, really detailed on that, and then you create content solely based on that. So last week, when I generated all those leads and I had a really successful campaign that took me literally 2 minutes, I created it because a lot of my buyers are feeling stressed from a seller's market. So I'm hearing a lot of that chatter from my database. So I'm like, I need to create content because this is eliciting an emotional reaction in my database. So I need to be putting content out there. So I just talked about it, and then I invited people very easily, not salesy, to take that conversation a step further if they wanted to. And that's why that works. But it all comes down to what the people you're trying to serve are actually looking for. That's why you need to be listening. Like, don't assume, you don't get to decide whether your content is good enough for people to follow you or for people to convert. You don't decide that. Your audience decides that. So listen to what they're looking for. I think I had another, sorry.
So if you look for like a hashtag that says moving to Phoenix, you're
Yeah.
gonna hit 1 million people. Don't go on there and follow all of them.
Most of them are real estate agents.
Yeah.
First of all. So look at that. But hashtags like that are a great way. So what is your ideal client searching? Right? A lot of them are like probably tagging themselves at Fox Restaurant Concepts, or like tagging themselves at like these big, like look where those big crossroads are and put yourself there.
Or even things unrelated to real estate, right? Your license
Mostly
gives
things
you,
unrelated to real estate.
your license lets you help somebody sell or buy a home anywhere in the state of Arizona. Well, every single person isn't your ideal client. So if you're super into yoga, post about yoga because the yoga people will follow you and one of them will buy a home someday.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be anything about real estate. Everybody needs a roof over their head.
And who wants to talk about real estate all the time anyway?
Only
Like,
us.
it's more fun anyways.
Going back to paying to boost your listing, can you exclude your friends and their friends from, that way you're not paying to market to your own sphere?
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought you could exclude audiences in that way. Is that
Only
what
if
it
you
is?
do
on a targeted ad.
Yeah, only
but
if
not
you do
on
like a
boost.
custom list
Yeah.
of people.
And the targeted
Yeah.
ads aren't even that good anymore either.
No.
What was yours?
I have a question. So I am a little bit different. I have a large social media following on Instagram.
Great.
And I'm trying to figure out how to convert that back into real estate. So when I moved to Texas, I started the
Go to
Summer
her.
Core account, and now I moved back.
How did you build your following?
Organically. I don't know. I just started video. I'm gonna tell you now. I started doing video. I started on YouTube, and I had a really crappy video kind of go viral. And so my friend and I sitting in Texas, they were like, "Lisa, because I was bored, why don't you play around, do more YouTube?" And I'm like, "Okay," I did that a little bit, and then I'm like, she's like, "Have you like looked into Instagram?" And I'm like, "Well, no." So then I opened it up to Instagram at 132 followers, and I just started figuring out how I could take the YouTube videos and condense them down to a minute, and I had a lot of free time. So I pretty much busted my butt for a year, and it just became like my biggest, session.
That's awesome.
And so now I have like 63,000 followers. That's all home decor though, and I do have a large base here in Phoenix. But now that I just signed back up for real estate, I'm like, how do I transition that without becoming salesy?
Yeah, so the biggest struggle that you're going to have is you have a national audience.
There are a lot of them in my statistics, so I have most of them here.
So if
in
you
New
click
York,
the statistics,
random.
you can see the percentage.
Yeah.
So even if it says like Texas or Phoenix or whatever, it's still
It gives you,
probably
like,
close to
four.
like 10%.
Yeah.
So you're, no matter what, your struggle is going to be that like you probably still have largely a national audience if you have that many followers and you're posting home decor stuff.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
just kinda how that works. So what you want to do is just really go very deep on the segments of your audience that's actually in Phoenix, actually here. And what I would actually do is just start posting, just start finding out who they are. So I would start posting more stuff with you locally here, like the home decor stores here, like something that's still in line. Because if you go off,
I do that.
yeah.
So like I do shopping tours in my stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that, and I have a lot of I've actually run into some, but so I kind of do that. But I'm just trying to figure out how do I take it from shopping and decorating to real estate. Because as soon as I do that, people go,
Yeah, you just need to give them a compelling reason to get off of the app. So what I do is I basically have, I'll do like events. So I'll do like in-person events, right? I'll do things where I send people to my home search site. Everybody knows you can go to my home search site. And I know that sounds super, super lame.
No, I need to start doing that.
Yeah, but that's a really easy just to make sure that you have to get them off of the app.
Right.
Right. So you just need to start looking for ways to do that. And what you might even consider doing is creating like an email downloadable thing, like create an ebook of like.
I do have an email funnel already for design.
So make one for
yeah, I just gotta do one
Phoenix
for real
real
estate.
Exactly.
Because I do have like a couple landing pages for that.
Yeah, I would start list building off of that audience.
For just real estate.
But not
By the
even
way,
real
if you're
estate, more like
interested in
Phoenix
the next
living.
12 months, click here. You know what I mean? So you can, you don't want to take the people who opted in just for design and start sending them homes for sale in Phoenix.
No, I could do a whole separate.
Yeah. But you can give them back and forth. Like with that many followers, you should be able to do the swipe up thing on your stories and send to a link. So do a tour of new builds and say, by the way, this is in Phoenix. If you're actually interested in doing a new build in Phoenix, swipe up. I've got all the floor plans on my website.
I was thinking of doing like video tour and putting it on my feed once a week. And just doing model homes.
Yeah.
'Cause I figure that's safe, right?
Yeah. Those crush it for me. I crush it with those. Yeah.
And I like it anyway.
And nobody, like, anybody who reaches out, like, it's never the right area, it's never the right price point, it's never that thing, which is perfect. Because, like, I'm the professional that can find them what actually fits.
Yeah.
So I think that's a wonderful idea for sure. But you have to get that conversation off of Instagram.
What about like a download, top 10 decor or design trends to sell your home in 2020? And then the people who download it
to national.
That's
like
true.
like you could do that, but make it like Phoenix.
Yes.
How to do this.
Or
in
yeah, like
Phoenix.
top 10 Phoenix design trends, downloadable
Yeah.
content. But that way the people who are downloading it probably then would have an
Be more
interest.
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll take time.
Yeah.
Stephanie, you do model homes? You shoot model homes or do videos of model
Yeah.
homes or take it to the model homes?
She does videos everywhere. That's awesome. She
So what's
should.
your Instagram? Cause I just requested everybody,
Oh.
but I can't find you.
Bryce and Stephanie. So BryceAndyStefanie.
What is it again?
Bryce. So you're gonna search Bryce BryCE and
Speak
Stephanie.
slowly again, slow.
I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that like BryCE, and then it should auto-populate from there. Did you find it? Okay. Sorry, guys.
How do you click this thing?
Push the
Oh.
hook, yeah.
It's tricky.
Been struggling with that all
It took
day.
me a long time to figure this out.
YCE and Stephanie. STEFANIE. Any other questions?
Of course. What would you say your guideline should be on the length of an Instagram video
As
on the
long
stories?
as it needs to be.
Really?
But
So
as short as
there's no.
possible. Yeah. Not a second longer.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Okay.
really- that's- So when you're doing stories, what you'll see, and you'll see from other people's accounts too, if you're watching stories, there will be a little dot or a dash at the top of it,
Mhm.
and that signifies how many they've posted. So you can kind of see how long it's going to take to get to the end of it. What you don't want to see is like a bunch of little dots that are like a grain of sand.
Okay.
But yeah, but
It
you
scares
might,
people away.
because they're like, oh man, if I start watching this, am I going to be sucked in for 10 minutes? Right? So you can start with like just
3, 4, 5.
yeah.
So wait, separate? You mean separate videos or just?
It'll
Or you- or-
it'll
or
compound
have
it. It'll roll it over into one, but it's going to still load up as separate story cards.
So do you have a general of what you usually try to keep it under? How many minutes?
I will not do a selfie talking video for longer than 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe.
Gotcha.
If I get bored really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you and on Facebook? What would you say? How do you mix your personal with your show and still keep people from getting turned off?
You should just do it. I mean, it's you know? So like, I mean, I only post about 3 things in general. It's either my daughter, or family,
Pets.
real estate, and then once in a while, my faith.
Okay.
And then just like, just
Okay.
He's very authentic with it, but you'll notice if you go back and search his posts, even when it's real estate related, his personality really comes through and like gratitude in his posts, and a lot of times faith is mentioned in those posts as well, about how he's connected with people. So I think you can intertwine multiple topics in one post if it's done properly, and he does a very good job of that. Stephanie does as well. So that's when I think posts are the most powerful, is when they're so authentic to you that it combines multiple aspects of your life in one post or story.
That's cool.
Yeah. You just never want to get the ugh.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody just swipes by.
Your audience will, if you're being authentic and just being who you are, that's kind of a way to attract your ideal
Yeah,
client, right?
yeah,
People
for
will
sure.
self-select into that.
Yes.
If I don't like what they have to say, I'm going to stop watching the videos. But for every person that does that, there's going to be 5 other people who really resonate with who you are and are going to tune in. So I would worry less about what they want to hear about, and just be yourself and showcase your life as you live it, because that's what attracts people, is that authenticity and just seeing you.
Right.
I wouldn't overthink it too much.
Yeah.
So don't post on business pages. That doesn't work. You just intertwine it with your personal.
yeah.
Okay. And then how did you
That's a
switch
good idea.
from the personal to the business one on Instagram? Or
You just go in your settings.
you just change it and you can switch back and forth anytime?
You can do it anytime, but just do it once.
Okay, and it keeps the same names though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same followers,
Yeah.
everything. They can't even tell.
Yeah,
They-
Instagram's probably going to shut you down if you're like switching back and forth, so
Right,
just switch.
But Instagram cares in what way? That's a business versus personal.
And what do you mean? Like how does it change the way you're...
Right.
So you get features, you get extra features when you switch to a business profile, which is cool. But imagine your Facebook business page, right? We have seen how those have become less effective. And the reason for that is kind of what Amanda Sue said, because their job is to keep people on the app as long as possible. And if they think that users are going to be annoyed by advertising, they're going to show them less business content. So already switching over into a business profile, if you start talking about too much businessy, salesy stuff, you're not going to do well. So switch to a business profile. It's still going to be beneficial for you, but just make sure that you're not spamming people with advertising, and you'll be fine, and you shouldn't see any change in the way that things are working for you.
Right.
All right.
We're 22 minutes over. You guys are troopers. We're hanging in here.
Now we're buying you drinks.
Yeah.
First one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now look